already been wrong, and they've heard it. But in the dark, among the stars, they know that God is dead.
Yeah. So now let me change from a lyric to spit. Just like waiting, change Snyder's vision to shit. This man has no clue about DC Comics. And man, what the hell was with Superman's lit? I can't even watch it. It's such a disgrace. I really wish Shoots would punch shots in the face.
Let us fans with the DCEU, T movies, and you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to SNYDER AV. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I'm on my vacation right now, so I'm having a great weekend right now. I'm like, fuck yeah. It's not. I didn't take a full vacation, but I had the weekend, and then Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday's my birthday, and so it worked out cool. It is what it is. Yeah. I can't afford like a whole 5-day vacation right now from work because they're not paid days. So let's see what's going on in the chat here real quick. All right. So to recap the week and what I want to talk about tonight, let me see. Well, as far as Titans was cool. Titans was a good episode this week, I thought. I'm not really going to get into it, though, because everybody I'm about to have on the show in a couple minutes hates it. So, whatever. Nothing really stuck with me anyway. That I only watched it once. What If I thought was fucking cool. I really liked What If this week. This was the zombies, right? Zombie week. Yeah. So, I thought the zombie thing was really cool. I liked how they did it. I liked how, I don't know, the whole thing just kind of felt like a little darker level for Marvel, you know? So I thought that was cool. Made me dig it. Yeah, other than that, I don't know. All that's really been on my mind is how much I hate Warner Brothers. Really, really, really fucking hate Warner Brothers. It's driving me nuts. It's just like every time I start to be like, I'm gonna give things a chance, maybe things are gonna get better, you know what I mean? Like maybe the Flash movie, I'm like, well, Ben Affleck's in it and Ezra Miller's in it and every other fucking person under the sun's in it, and which is a bad thing, I think. Honestly, I would have rather had Jeffrey Dean Morgan than Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton when I was a kid and everything, but do we really need 70-year-old Batman? I just, whatever. I don't know. Not that, I don't know how old Jeffrey Dean Morgan is, but I think Thomas Wayne and the real Flashpoint story would have been better than having this fucking multiverse crap fucking excuse to wipe away the Snyderverse, I think, basically. I don't know. I feel like the whole fucking thing, the whole DC films is all just based around money right now. And that's how it's felt since Snyder's departure. With the exception of Aquaman. I'll give Aquaman credit. Because, I feel like Aquaman got done in a weird midpoint, transition point between the two. That it was a compromise of both, maybe, I feel like. But yeah, since then, everything's been based around money. Every fucking decision, every fucking movie they made. What's up, Ryan? What's going on, man? In here. What's up, man? What's going on? Whatchamacallit, what was I saying? Yeah, but it's everything they've done, it's just based on money. It's like they're just trying to figure out what the next thing's going to be. What's up, Cal? What's going on? What the next thing's going to be and what the next fucking, they're trying to appeal to the general audience and get them to be like, we want to get in movies and shit, but they're retarded. What they don't get is that they need us. They need the fan base first. The fan base is what makes the regular people go out to the movies and shit a lot of times with these kind of movies. But regardless, everything Warner Brothers has done in the last week is fucking despicable. and I'm pissed off. And I think it goes even deeper than what most people already think is going on with it, with them blocking the shit and everything. It's just, I've just thought about a lot of stuff when I talk to people at the store. The fucking, my receipt, I feel like, is kind of bugging me out too. I'll get into that. What's up, Caleb? What's going on? Caleb's going to be in here in a minute. He's going to be on the panel. What's up, baby girl? What's going on? And but yeah, because like when I went to buy my Zack Snyder's Justice League this week, and my Target actually had a few. I don't know if anybody's seen my video, but they had a few of the Blu-rays. They had like 6 of each of like the Blu-ray, the 4K, and the DVD. But no box sets. I couldn't find the box sets anywhere, honestly. And it's funny because I called my Best Buy ahead of time. Like my Best Buy, Walmart, and Target are all right by each other, right? So I called my Best Buy ahead of time, asked them about it, and they said there was 1 copy left, but they couldn't hold it or whatever. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, like whatever, you know what I mean? And it was a 4K anyway, and I wanted the Blu-ray, but I don't know. It's like, it's making me think now, because like, I was listening to Enosh and Dawson earlier on their stream, and he was saying how, like, he called the stores, and the stores are going off with the computers telling them to say and whatever's noted with that product or whatever, I guess, and the way Enosh made it sound, it was like stores were telling them they didn't have it when they did have it. Like if he would have just walked in there physically, it might have been there, but like, so I just feel like there's all kinds of tactics are taking place to keep this thing down as usual, like the same shit that's been going on since before its fucking release, because like we all know, hey Sri, what's up? How you doing? Because like we all know, it's like Warner Brothers never wanted the fucking thing to come out in the first place. You know what I mean? Like Warner Brothers, AT&T forced their hand. AT&T bought the company, and like any reasonable business people that aren't somehow negatively attached to Justice League and the whole debacle that went down would see, and like hopefully Discovery will see, there was value there. And they knew they were about to start a streaming service, and they called fucking Toby Emmerich and said, hey, go get the fucking Snyder cut and drop it off at Zach's house. Like a good boy. Okay, is basically what happened. And Warner Brothers, Toby Emmerich didn't want it to happen at all. Like, it's still to this day, he's trying to pretend it didn't. He's trying to fucking, make it like as if, oh, okay, True. What's up, True? What's going on? He's trying to make it like as if, like, this was nothing. This was just something for this small pocket of fans over here. It's like what they want the public perception to be. You know what I mean? What's up, Paul Smith? What's going on? Good to have you here, man. And it's like put it this way, right? Just listen to this. This is just one point that I have out of everything that I've seen going on this week around it. Okay. When I bought the Blu-ray at Target, okay. Now I buy Blu-rays at Target all the time. I often pick up like DC Animated Universe shit there, like, because like my Target's pretty decent with I guess whatever deal they got going on with like Warner Brothers and the DC shit, because they have lots of like DC animated shit all the time at my Target. And usually when I go to Target and I purchase a movie, on the receipt, just like anything else on a receipt, like if you get Campbell's noodles, it'll say Campbell's noodles or some kind of like CMBL niddle, like abbreviations on the receipt and shit. You know what I mean? And usually the movies are the same thing. Like when I buy like a Batman animated movie, it's like Bitman, you know what I mean? Animate, yeah, you get like little abbreviations for what the DVD's called or whatever. Well, when I bought the Snyder Cut, my receipt just says capital B, capital D, ... $26.99, and then 11 or have to return by October 11, something underneath. But it literally is just like blue, like Blu-ray disc. Like that's it. Like it doesn't have a name. Like the barcode didn't make it say Zack Snyder's Justice League or an abbreviation of it or anything. I feel like more than just what they're doing with blocking it from coming out and all that shit, they're also like trying, like I think maybe like shit like that's going on, like maybe a bunch of copies that are getting sold or getting scanned and aren't registering as Zack Snyder's Justice League, because it literally rang up like it was just some piece of shit out of the $5 movie bin, like it just is Blu-ray disc initials and there's no movie title to it or nothing on the receipt. Like here, I'll show you right here, look. Can you guys see that? Wait. Bam, right at the top there, see? BD. That's Zack Snyder's Justice League. Look, even the fucking food, you know what I mean, has names. Like, and when you buy a movie, there's usually a name. There's usually, it doesn't just say fucking BD or DVD. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's shady shit is fucking afloat, motherfucker. I'm telling you, like, I do not want to be stuck with no access to my favorite movies thanks to WB idiocy. Well, I'll tell you what, Sri, if you don't got a Zack Snyder's Justice League yet, you better fucking go get one, because that's exactly what they're about to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, I'm telling you right now, everybody, there isn't going to be a Steelbook and there isn't going to be more manufactured. There ain't going to be another round of these to come out until Toby Emmerich's not in charge anymore, I feel like. Until Discovery comes in maybe and sees more demand for it. Like, I really think, oh, you got the box set? That's what's up. I tried to get it, but nowhere had it around me. Like, I don't even think they got it in the first place. Like, there wasn't a price tag slot for it or anything in my Target or my Walmart. You know what I mean? I didn't check Best Buy because I knew they only had the one left, so. But yeah, so that's another thing. Like, there you go. Like, I'm in fucking South Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in a gigantic inner city neighborhood where there's like fucking probably like 1 million people in this one neighborhood alone. And they I'm telling you, like, oh, I looked at the stand, the trilogy box set didn't even have a price slot spot on there. Like, the store just didn't have it in the first place, you know? But they got fucking like 8 DVDs for some fucking, like, who the fuck's buying DVDs? Like, why did they even press DVDs? I don't even understand. Like, and then I went to the counter in the Target, you know, and like to ask them about the box set or the Steelbook, you know, and they just were like, you know, like, your guess is as good as mine, basically. Like, you know, like, thanks for nothing. Like, yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to buy it till the weekend, to go out and buy it till the weekend. So I was didn't even realize what was starting to go on yet until I came home from work, I think like Tuesday, and saw Truth's video when Truth was talking about it, and I was just like, what the like, your shit, when I see like the unlisted video, like, are you fucking kidding me, Warner Brothers? Like, really? Like, like, as soon as I got done watching Truth's video, I got this pit in my stomach that hold on, let me see what Tree's saying here. I thought about waiting, but after watching the Sunday podcast and all the other streams talking about the shit WB is pulling, I didn't want to wait. Yeah, that's I hear you. Yeah, I know. That's why I definitely, you know, and I really, like I said, I really don't think there's any more coming behind whatever's out right now. You know what I mean? I think like it is, but it like, I think, and that's why I think some places have the trilogy, some places, you know what I mean? And some places don't and shit, because they didn't even print enough in the first place. It's going to sell out, but I guarantee you, Toby Emmerich already had like a cap on how many were getting made, that it can only sell out to a certain extent. Like, he does not want this thing to fucking blow up and then Discovery see, you know, he's trying to hide the Snyder Cut success at all costs because he fears his fucking job right now is what's going, you know, like, he knows Discovery's coming in, and the better the Snyderverse looks, the worse he's gonna look, the worse Walter Hamada is gonna look, you know. That's why, and honestly, like I said, like, after I watched Truth's video the other day, I was just like, fuck this. Like, I'm done. Like, I was like, I can't. Like, I cannot, in good conscience, give Warner Brothers and DC Films my money anymore at this juncture until something changes, because this shit is crazy. This shit that they're doing. Like, I turned 40 last month. Hey, happy birthday. This is all I'm turning something in that range Tuesday. I don't want to say my age though, but this is all I wanted ever since Zack Snyder's Justice League was announced, the box set. Yeah, I see. I kind of wanted it, but I didn't want to support the fact that it says trilogy on the front. I hate that. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I'd rather just buy the 3 separate movies again, in support or whatever. Like, that was your fit. So it's my birthday gift from me. Yeah, fucking right. You always got to do one of them, man. Especially when you're older and shit, Like, it's like, I know me. It's like, my kids will like take me out to eat something or something, But I mean, like, other than that, like, I don't really get like birthday presents from anyone. So I usually always try to do a little something for myself, Yeah, I'm not giving WB any of my money either. I mean, hey, I'm not like I'm not sitting here. I'm not trying to influence anyone else's decisions. And if you want to pay to see Flash, if you want to pay to see the Batman, if you want to, support whatever, heck, fuck, even if you like the Suicide Squad, which I absolutely loathe, it's everyone's entitled to their opinion and whatever they're a fan of. And I'm not trying to sway anyone in any other direction. I mean, I'm like the guy alone on the island that loves Titans, so I'm not perfect either. So, yeah. So, what was I saying? But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, I don't know. It's just like something snapped in me when I heard about all this, and then when, like, I don't know, I just like that, and then the trailer too. Like, until like first I heard about like people. Like all these like people that had them pre-ordered where they were like getting canceled on them and shit. And then like when they tried to call Amazon and people and do something about it, like they were already set up with like pre-excuse bullshit shit to feed them, basically. That like they, like the one guy was saying that like he basically like he was a person that did that too and called them out on their bullshit and all this other stuff. And then they tried to say something was wrong with his card. And the dude said he had it on hold for like 6 weeks. And like, I heard about it happening to like multiple people that like people that thought they had them on pre-order, like they just got canceled. And like the one place tried to tell the dude, pre-orders have to be like canceled and redone when it actually releases or something. It's like, okay, dude, like what the fuck? It's all just like, dude, it's like they got their fucking hands in everything. You know what I mean? And they're just like, they're not going to let it go. They're not going to they don't want this thing to be successful. And it sucks. There's like nothing we can really do about it. Like at the moment anyway. Fucking, we bring in my man, Troop 31. What's up?
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, I got my background back. I started paying again.
Oh, there it is. Looking dope. I like it though. I like it. It looks cool.
Thanks. But yeah, so I was just saying, that like I said, after I saw your video, what was it, Tuesday when you came out with the video about
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got home from work that day and saw that video, and I like something snapped in me. I was like, I'm done. Like that's it. Like these motherfuckers, like they couldn't just let bygones be bygones and let like you have the control, dude. It's not going to happen. Like if it's not going to happen until Discovery comes in regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you really think you have a chance of still keeping your job that you got to do this,
Yeah, like you guys already lost. Like what's the point? Like
it's like really like oh my god, like they're and it makes me even, you know what, as much as I hate to say it because I want to be excited because of Ben Affleck and everything, but I feel like the Flash is their fucking Trojan horse, dude. Like that's like they're praying to God that's their fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League. I feel like, and
yeah,
it makes me not want to support it even more. Like it's like, I don't know.
It sucks because like I want a good Flash movie and I want good DC films. It's just like the the powers that be, like they're just like making it harder and harder for us to be DC fans, man. And
they really are. It's like
it's annoying.
And the thing that fucks me up is like I know like they don't realize it yet, and they're gonna have to just keep. They're starting to learn it the hard way with Suicide Squad. I feel like, but
yeah,
like that they don't realize that they need us. Like we need to start it for them. They need their fan base on board first. For, you know, like the general public's not going to be a fan base of something that they're like their own fucking fans hate them. You know what I mean? Like it's like they don't get it, dude. Like the whole like I always say, the reason Marvel got successful is because like Marvel fans liked it first and told their uncles and their kids and their you know what I mean.
And they had
like,
a plan.
That's how it's spread outward, you know, as it grew slowly, you know what I mean?
And they had someone in charge to make sure, like, listen, this is what we want to do. This is our vision. We're going to stick to it no matter what. But with Warner Brothers, like, you know, with one movie doesn't do all that well, that they fucking panicked. Like, oh shit, change everything. I was like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and when we say not doing well, we're talking about 700 and 800 million.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But that's like
that's pretty damn
first
good.
And second movie, it didn't do good. Yeah, you know, like what's up, Arkham Gaming? What's going on? But yeah, I'm not watching The Flash until I hear back from my look. There's things called Android boxes. You know what I mean? You don't have to not watch it. It's just, I'm just saying, you know.
1, 2, 3 movies, you know. Just saying.
Yeah. Exodus, you know. Like,
just throwing it out there, you know.
Yeah, don't we all do that? Right? We all wish that, straight. Believe me.
Money's tight, man. Money's tight.
I wanted to throw up when I walked out of Justice League.
Oh, that was fucking horrendous, bro.
I was so traumatized that night. Like when I went home, I don't think I could fall asleep. Like I just kept thinking, like looking back on it, like what the fuck happened? Like you know what I mean? Like I kept thinking about Superman, like answering the hippo question and shit. Like
and I'm just like, yo, this is not a Zack Snyder film. Like what? Like you could just tell immediately. It's like, okay.
Let me tell you something. That's the thing I hate the most in that movie is that comes up on the fucking screen in the beginning. You know, like it's like I could just imagine if Zach actually did watch it. You know, like it makes me believe that he genuinely didn't watch it because I feel like if he did, he'd be like, I need my fucking name taken off of that. You know what I mean? Like,
I want him to do a fucking commentary of Justice League. I think that would be
my god, dude! Like him and Junkie XL sitting there drinking together. That would be fucking insane. That would be so funny, dude. Oh my god!
Dude, he's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck did they do to my baby?
If I ever get big enough, I'm gonna try to make it a goal to do a show of it and get them on. Because that would be fucking insane.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Shit, even to do it with Junkie, dude. Like, I feel like Junkie owes it to Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
because Danny Elfman dropped the ball on that motherfucker, dude. Like, I mean, he might have made some good shit back in the day, like, but after his whole like, there's only one Batman day comment, like, I fucking hate him now. Like, fuck everything he did in the 80s and music that I used to like. I'm like, fuck him, like.
Yeah, it just didn't work at all. Just like, what the fuck is this? Like the whole Batman 89 theme that does not work with Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill with the Superman theme.
Yeah,
it just didn't fit.
Yeah, not at all, dude. Yeah, even it was and when it was like the whole score was just like based on those two moments. You know what I mean? It was like they were the only parts that like really got score. Everything else was just kind of like, let's just put this background thing here. You know what I mean? Like,
put that bullshit back in the box.
Like there was so many scenes that were silent, like awkwardly silent too. You ever notice that in Justice League? Like scenes where they're like if you compare it to the Snyder Cut and it's the same scene, there's definitely like music going on there, you know, and it's just like
I haven't watched it in years.
We don't need music here.
I think it was wasn't it on TNT? Like one time Joss League, and I just watched it. I'm just like, oh my god, like, this is just horrendous. Just like, what happened? But at the time, like that was our only film. That was Justice League.
I can't sit here and act like there wasn't times when I just would like be going through the thing and look at it on the and be like, there's Batman, there's Flash, there's Aquaman, there's Wonder Woman, you know, like, let me just try to watch it again. And then I'd just be like, oh my God, like, it's so bad.
Like it's so fucking horrible, bro.
Oh my God, man. Yeah.
You could burn that other shit. Burn all those fucking copies to the ground.
But I was saying earlier too. Did you hear what I was saying about the receipt? The Target receipt?
No.
Well, like I went to buy it, right? And like I was saying, like my Target, like I buy DC shit there all the time because they always get the DC animated movies there and shit at my Target. So like now, I mean, this could just be a coincidence, but I don't think it is. But usually when I buy a movie at Target, just like with food, like the way food names are on the fucking thing on the receipt, you know what I mean? Like the movie, it'll have like an abbreviation like Bitman animated, you know what I mean? Like of what the movie is or whatever when you buy it. For Zack Snyder's Justice League, it just has a capital B and a capital D for Blu-ray disc, and that's it. And then the price and the date you can return it. It does not say Zack Snyder's Justice League anywhere on the receipt. Like the barcode was not associated to that name. It's just this Blu-ray disc is what it rings up as.
Weird.
Yeah, like it almost makes me think it's like another part of the numbers being fudged already. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Because it's like it's not reading as Zack Snyder. Because that's the shit. Like, dude, if it scans and it's not scanning as Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's just coming up as BD in the computer. Then how the fuck is that getting counted as a sale for Zack Snyder's Justice League? You know what I mean? Like,
so you think they're like the fucking with the numbers? Like, see the sales, they're not that high.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Well, and honestly, even if that wasn't the case, I already think Toby Emmerich has a cap on how many got made.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're gonna make more either. You know what I mean? Like I think this is like whatever's out now. That's that. Like you had your shot. You know what I mean? Like,
and that kind of shit just makes you fucking even more spiteful. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not gonna pick up a Flash movie.
It really does. Look here. I got it sitting here. I forgot. I showed the rest of the chat earlier, but it's ready to watch when it'll clear up in a second. See right there at the top, BD. Yeah. That's it. That's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
So weird, bro.
And then look at the rest of the stuff. Diet Pepsi. You know what I mean? Like all has to come whatever product it is because they want to know their sales. So
some bullshit.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is basically a blank Blu-ray.
It's non-existent.
Like, it fucked me up. I was like, wait a minute. Like I knew that wasn't right. Like I know when I buy movies, the receipt says like it either says the name or it's like an abbreviation of the name, but it has an indication of what movie you bought in the receipt name. You know what I mean? It doesn't just say BD or just DVD. You know what I mean? Like. So it'll even say like special edition or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
and I've heard like some people like are get like their copies are getting delayed or like the pre-orders are being wiped out.
Pre-orders wiped out. Yeah. Yep. I know. I just like, dude, I can't, that was it for me, man. It's the last straw. Yeah. It's like you look back since day fucking one. Like they never fucking would tweet about it or anything. You know what I mean? It's like like God forbid they fucking say sorry we did this dickhead shit to you when your daughter died. You know what I mean? Like no, let's not be decent human beings.
No.
And it's just like then the fucking like putting the 4K Justice League trailer out. It's just been like one thing after another. Then, dude, the second they announced Godzilla vs. Kong coming out at the end of March, I knew. I was like, they're just trying to fucking whitewash the Snyder Cut subscription numbers. That's exactly why they put it there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just I thought we were past all that at this point, kind of, you know, and then to hear all this going on with the fucking hold on, let me bring in Ryan's down here.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I figured I'd pull a truth on you. I'm the logo now.
Copyright infringement, but it's all good.
Yeah, right. So what are you guys talking about? Aquaman, King of Atlantis.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh man. No, I was talking about how all this shit that's going on this week with them, basically, like I was just telling the truth how when I bought Zack Snyder's Justice League, my Target receipt, like it says nothing related to the movie. It just says BD for Blu-ray disc. Like that's what it rung up as. That's what the barcode read as, BD, and then the price.
Oh,
it doesn't say Zack Snyder's Justice League, anything like that.
Yeah, and they're just like it's ones and zeros. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, see, and that was sort of the issue that I had when I was on. God, I don't know if it was Dawson's stream It was somebody's stream. I was talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League available and anything beyond 4K, like in the future as everything progresses digitally and whatnot. Like every time you get a new player or whatever, they always update the media for physical copies and things like that. Would they continue to do that as things progress? I know that physical copy is not really a huge thing these days with a lot of folk, and it's a horrible idea to not have physical copy, because then you're subscribing to these people and just basically giving them money nonstop to have shit. And what if your internet goes out? Like, what the fuck? Like, really? I mean, that's asinine to me. And like, if I lose internet connection, I have Zack Snyder's Justice League. I can walk my happy ass over to the player, put it in, and watch it, and have a great time because I bought it.
Yeah.
And it's mine, and I own it. Either. And if I wanted to, I could rent out one of those blow up screens and get a projection, and hook a laptop up to it and project it for my whole neighborhood, and everybody sees it, and nobody, I can charge admission. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But yeah, it's mine. What's up, guys? What's up, chat? Good to see you guys here, man. Thanks for supporting Ill Life. He's going through some hard times these days. Just homeless. And no, I'm joking. So yeah, this is his make a wish, and I fulfilled my end.
That's for John Cena.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gist was that
oh, and hell yeah, I would definitely watch fucking
really
Justice League over Birds of Prey any fucking day of the week. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Sorry,
I own that shit. I'll never own Birds of Prey.
I can't agree
if
with
you
you
like
on
Birds
that
of Prey, cool. But I own Justice League because I thought that's all we were gonna get at the time, and I would rather see Batfleck rolling on the ground, talking about some stupid shit.
Ass is bleeding.
Or whatever, then to sit through Ewan McGregor getting blown up into shark chum. So yeah, that's
I've never owned.
I'd rather watch the attractive women.
But the thing is that they're wearing stuff that's not even, what I want to say, not even attractive. Which I think is a crime. If you're gonna sit there and you're gonna exploit Ben Affleck's butt in the shower, and no one has a problem with that, we should see some fishnets on Black Canary.
Yeah.
Or something similar, something like it, something close to it, comparable, whatever. Same with dude, Huntress, her outfit was a joke. It was like a jumper. I don't know what the fuck. Batgirl. That was just a letdown of a character, trash character. Harley Quinn looked like she made her costume out of like whatever was available. I
wasn't a fan of any costumes in it. Yeah, definitely. I don't love the movie, but I don't hate it either. It's all right.
I don't hate
like it just
the
fine.
movie. I'd
definitely rather watch it than Justice League.
I'd rather watch that than. I'd rather watch Birds of Prey than I would Studio Squad or Justice League. That's for sure. I'd rather watch it than WW84.
Studio Squad.
Yeah,
I like Studio Squad better, but I
could watch Studio Squad over Birds of Prey. I could do that because again, it's
for me, it's really just about that.
Principle.
Birds of Prey is the movie that Kathy Ann wanted to make, and Studio Squad is just not the movie that.
No. See, I heard. Okay. Kathy Yen, when David was talking about how he got treated, she was like, "Oh yeah, me too." She for her movie, there were things in Birds of Prey that she, didn't get to, because they brought that guy in from John Wick to add some action pieces to it, right? Action set pieces or whatever. So her movie was going to be even more drab, boring, lifeless. Yeah, we didn't really get her cut, So yeah, I'm not really. Again, I'm not trying to shit on Birds of Prey. I just personally don't have a taste for it.
Yeah.
But to say Justice League is over at that, that's kind of crazy. I think. I don't know.
At least I get to see Ezra in costume. At least I get to see, because I mean, the Flash he's dope. At least I get to see a little bit of Henry because they're shunning him. So I'm like, I'd love to see Henry, and even though it's the mustache Henry, it's still Henry in costume.
That movie's not even on my ranking anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, to be honest, it would be probably better to watch it without the audio. Therefore, I can make up my own dialogue, and it'd probably be a better movie. So.
It's like turn it down in Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. Actually, we should do that. We should stream it live and add our own dialogue to the movie. That would probably be
I'd be down to do
a lot more entertaining.
So Phil, what's your take on all this bullshit that's going on this week with
he was a bummer
the block in the.
Well, I mean, it's just another show of unconfident and competent leadership on WB's end. I mean, they short stacked how many retailers and then told them put it out how much later, and then they unlisted the trailer that dropped almost 2 weeks ago. Like, what? Why? I just don't understand the need to be so unexcusably petty when this shit prints you money. It's so incompetent on almost every fundamental level, and yet there's even some people are like, no, they're doing the right thing. No, they're in the right to do that. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't at all understand how anyone could say with a straight face that some of the decisions that Emmerich made, Sarnoff made, Walter Hamada, even after the fact of the theatrical cut, like I truly do not understand how some people can be like, oh no, they did the right thing. Zack Snyder didn't know what he was doing with the DC universe. Like, no, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Sit down and shut up. But ultimately, it's just baffling. It's disheartening. And it really does just show that, again, the people in charge do not give a flying fuck. But then again,
they don't.
Nobody at any of these studios truly give that much of a fuck. Kevin Feige, you probably could make an argument for, because he's a genuine fan of his superhero universe that he built.
And it's been successful.
They give a fuck too much in the bad way. They do give a fuck, but in the wrong way. Like, they don't want it to, they're trying to stop it from being successful because they think that it being successful is going to make them look worse.
Right. It would be them admitting that they were wrong, and no studio ever wants to admit that they're wrong. Period. Bar none. End of discussion. Like, I would never see a day where Avi Arad would come out and say, yeah, Spider-Man 3, Amazing 2, those are my fault. Because they absolutely are his fault. 100%. Like, the reason those movies failed on a fan and level that they did was because of his involvement and his mandates. Like, he wanted Venom in 3 and he wanted Amazing 2 to set up the Sinister Six. And it's like, dude, you all need to stop just looking at what Marvel Studios is doing and be like, we need to do that. It's like, no.
You need to not even with the Dark Universe, with Tom Cruise and
had to bring that
I did, because it was like, I need a universe, and you get a universe, and you get a universe, and everybody wanted their own universe to dwell in and bring their content so that they could, sort of capitalize on this whole Marvel thing. That they were like, we don't understand how it works, but we're going to try it.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And the problem is that, at least my interpretation of it, I've been watching these movies for well over 20 years, but when I think about Marvel characters, it's almost like a Marvel versus Capcom. It's almost like a fucking Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's almost like a pick your own adventure, almost like He-Man, almost like Masters of the Universe. You could literally pit any of these Marvel characters, and you could do a Secret Wars. Yeah, you could do Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, you can do, Spider Island, whatever, right? But I think the real beauty of these characters is that you can pit any one of them with each other, and you're bound to get some kind of weird chemistry somewhere. I mean, look at Wanda and Vision. Yeah, that's a thing from the comics, but look at how well that's translated on screen between Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. Or even something like,
well, that's also, and that also has to go with, they've had movies to develop, their characters and see what works and what doesn't work.
Not only that, they've had movies to develop characters that don't have live action baggage from previous iterations.
Yeah.
Spider-Man aside. Because Spider-Man's the only one that has, I guess you could call it the same kind of level of baggage that Batman and Superman would have at the box office specifically. But characters like Iron Man.
The closest to
Captain
Spider-Man
America,
would be Hulk.
Now they're doing it again. They're going to be in a similar boat with Fantastic Four because that's been done 3 times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
All terrible. How can you not make a good Fantastic Four movie?
And
I think he's going to make a great Fantastic Four movie.
You know what scares me with that too is like, look at how determined they were not to repeat Spider-Man's. Like that they had to make Tom Holland different. Like, hopefully, like the Fantastic Four doesn't end up with a similar fate in a bad fashion like that. Because they just don't want to do the same story again and do their origin or whatever.
But what kind of tone do you want for a Fantastic Four movie? Do you want a serious tone or do you want a mix?
Well, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I want it serious, but I mean, if it's got the MCU touch to it, I wouldn't mind with Fantastic Four.
So more Guardians of the Galaxy or more Winter Soldier?
I honestly think the tone for Fantastic Four is going to fall in line with something like Shang-Chi or something like Black Panther. That's honestly kind of where my mind's at, because you're not dealing with an outright jokey character like Spider-Man. You have a lot of other characters you're dealing with. You have Reed Richards, you have Sue Storm, you have Ben Grimm, and you've got Johnny Storm. All 4 very different characters with 4 very different personalities. Yeah, there's room for humor, 100%. But at the same time, like, Reed Richards is one of the smartest people in the Marvel universe. And given that Jonathan Majors is Kang the Conqueror, and technically Kang the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards, I would actually be really okay if Jonathan Majors also wound up playing Reed Richards. I'd be totally okay with that.
Don't tell Geeks and Gamers that.
Tell who?
Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on that bozo. Oh, man. Talking about Alex Jones on his channel. It's like, dude, you're not hot shit for that. Sit down and be quiet.
Alex Jones, what?
Yeah. That dimwit Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was so proud of the fact that he had Alex Jones on a show. He's tweeting about it. It's like, dude, shut up.
Wow.
Bozo shit.
I mean, even the first Fantastic Four movies, they weren't horrible or anything.
No,
like, they
not
were,
by any means. No,
I mean, especially for the time they were coming out.
Yeah,
and I always forget about them too. Like when I think about that, because they were right in there with like X-Men and Spider-Man.
I think Feige worked on them too with Tim Story.
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, like especially too, like I really liked too with the Silver Surfer thing and all. Like
he was the best part.
Lawrence Fishburne, voice of Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. I mean, and the new one, like I like the actors, but the writing for the movie I felt like didn't. Like I don't know. I felt like it was all.
I thought Dr. Doom was a letdown. That was
that's exactly. Yeah, that's what bothered me. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, they have not. I mean, the other guy was okay. But to me, they just haven't done Dr. Doom like justice yet. They really need to do him some justice.
I think visually he looked better in the Tim Story movies, but again, like with the newer film Fan Four Stick, that was just like,
what is this?
Yeah, I was like,
it was just like,
what's wrong with his face?
Yeah, it didn't look like Dr. Doom.
You had a very young director who was very unconfident with a confident idea. And you had a studio that really wanted to retain the rights of an IP that they obviously didn't want Marvel to get their hands on at the time. So that movie, just for all intents and purposes, and I mean this with nothing but respect to the cast, it was not only a write-off, but like they probably just didn't give much of a fuck.
Well, they did the same thing with Superman Returns. They were coming up on negotiation issues or whatever. And they had to have a film that starred that character in it because the estate was, sort of like, hey, where's my money? And so that's why they, contacted.
Do you know by chance if Superman Returns also had its budget inflated from the Nicolas Cage movie? Like that was a thing, right? Like half the budget.
That was okay. So Superman Lives was a thing. But
some of the budget
what they did was they ran into money issues, so they
Right.
they contacted the Brando estate, and that's why we got the Donner cut, was because they needed to pay off their what do you call them? I just said the Brandos. So they released the Donner cut. The proceeds that they raised for the Donner cut went to pay off the Brando estate, so they could use his likeness for the movie, so that they could make the money that they were losing out on because of the salt, not salt kinds. What is it? Schuster and
Siegel.
Yeah.
Schuster and Siegel, so they could pay their estates.
It might have been the Schuster estate, I think.
It may have been. It may have been.
I don't know which one it is, but I want to say it was the Schuster estate.
It's
It might have been.
50-50.
Yeah. Either one, they both created Superman. Doesn't really matter.
They both did.
I mean,
Yeah,
it does matter.
they
but,
both
you know.
did. So yeah, and Lex Luthor was originally just a mad scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I thought that was pretty
He
good. casting.
wasn't bad.
Me too.
Just keep the
I
kids
thought that was
away
the best
from
part
him.
of the movie.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it
like-
was just too much like Gene Hackman. That was the problem. It was too much.
Yeah.
I think for me,
J.T. Donner.
the only time
Well,
I
the
bought
problem
him,
was the story was like,
Yeah.
why
Yes.
are you going
Yes.
back to
fucking Kryptonite.
land?
State.
They spent way too much time on the like, oh, I'm gonna be a sap and sit outside of Lois's window and all that shit. You know,
that
It
was
like
creeper.
It
for
really
Superman.
was.
I was
And
like,
it
There was-
I was like, dude,
there was-
seriously? There's
and the
Lana.
Rico
Go
and the
get Lana.
flying together and all. It was just like, oh
It's
my
like-
god, it was like
there was
a whole
one.
nostalgia like cash grab.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There was only ever one moment I bought Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, is when he's got Lois tied up and he's like, "Is Superman coming to save you?" No, no. And I was like, oh, okay, that's right.
I,
And he goes,
that
"Wrong."
is the most. I love that little clip. Wrong. I love that. And then when he, I was even going to use it for my show, for like, when I,
Should.
pay people wrong. But I was like, nah, I'm not, just not ever, when he got
You should
caught
use that
doing
one
whatever
too.
he was doing, that just kind of ruined it for me. I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like still the best sequence is the airplane sequence where he saves the airplane. Like,
That's
just
still-
sad.
See, that's where what's his face Bryan Singer really excelled at, because of the night crawler sequence in
I like
X2.
the bullet.
The bullet was
I like
pretty
the
dope.
the
It,
scene,
yeah.
and the bullet to the eye. and all.
Where the story suffered was the land creation from Krypton, the son with asthma, and his suit. His suit was also something. It was like, why are you wearing Speedos?
Yeah.
And
And then the
I mean-
giant island of kryptonite was just
then
what?
his S was like really small, like Batman. It was like, it was like they shrunk it for his chest to make him look a little bigger. They also, his boots, if you look at him, he's a tall guy, but they put him in like high heels, like platform boots, to make him look
Just the whole
taller?
costume was like the material looked like
what they
pajamas,
did
the
for him
cape was
in
like
the
leather
CW
or
was
something,
better.
Yeah,
like
agree.
they should have
Yeah.
done what and I really wish that that Zach kind of got a hold of him at that time, because Henry was going up for that role as well for Superman Returns, but he
Right.
wasn't big. Zach got that trainer in there. I forget his name from the gym, but he bulked him up, and I just wish that they had done that with Brandon, just bulk him out, because he's a good actor. He's got the whole Christopher Reeve thing down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I dig it. I would not be upset if somebody else came back and directed him in a Superman, Elseworld movie, kind of like Joker. Just direct him, show, give us a Kingdom Come on the big screen, or
even
something
HBO
like
Max.
that. Give us a different, version of Superman.
Pretty soon they'll
Brandon
be able
is.
to with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill.
I mean, I would have gone further and cast both Henry and Brandon in the same movie, and made Henry Superman, and I would have made Brandon probably like either the Eradicator or Cyborg Superman. Yeah, I would have made him that, because then it makes sense. Because like when I was young and I was reading in the comics, I was like, how could they confuse Cyborg Superman with Superman? I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You know, he looks similar or whatever, but I was like, you know what? If we watched it and you saw two actors that were cast as Superman, and you were like, well, which one's the real Superman? If you didn't know that storyline, well, which one's the real Superman? Then that would be, you know. So I was like, whoa, that's a dope concept, you know. But yeah, I mean, that probably won't happen. But you know,
honestly, you know, from the Reeves era of Superman films, I honestly hope that they were going down like a Brainiac route, and they never did. So I'm really happy that the comic is going down that route.
With Superman
3, I think.
Yeah,
right.
That was Brainiac, and they changed it. And then Superman 4 was Bizarro, and they changed it.
Yeah.
And I think even the actor that played Nuclear Man could have been
a Bizarro. Yeah, right.
I was like, dude, you've got the build. Your face is, your structure is kind of the same. Just some makeup would make him really look, you know. And you know, Chris wore a wig anyway. So I mean, that would have been
blonde.
Yeah. That would have been fucking dope. But I mean, again, you know, it's the people that are making these decisions, doing these things. I mean, they're number one. The reason why they're you know, disconnected from us fans is because they're not fans themselves. They are businessmen.
Exactly.
They are people who are there to make executive decisions and watch the money. Watch the money go in, watch the money go out. So they're not creatives. They rely on creatives to come in, pitch them something that they believe is going to make them money. Not that, you know, like, oh, this is great. I think that this will, you know, this is how the character should be seen or whatever. And that's the problem with the whole thing about Feige is Feige he knows his characters, so he's got more of a connection with his audience base, and then he can also talk to the bigwigs about where the money should go. And we don't have that. And, you know, if we just had Zach, you know, at least as an overseer, I think that, you know, he could have been a good bridge. But the thing is that, you know, Warner Brothers just at, you know, midstream was like, I don't have the confidence anymore. So therefore there's no more confidence in Zack Snyder. Mm-hmm. And they have not changed position since. Even though we have seen the money that's come in, they're like, I don't have confidence that he will bring in the general audience. He's growing up a great fan base, but we want the general audience.
At the same time, Ryan, I don't even think it's the fact that like they think it's him necessarily anymore. I think they know it was them, but they just want to leave it on his doorstep. You know,
they could have. I mean, look at what Gavin O'Connor just came out with recently. I mean, when the changeover happened in management, they all of a sudden went, "Hey, we want a Suicide Squad film that's a comedy." It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Who in their right mind?
I'll tell you where it came from. It came from Karen.
Yeah.
And she was like, I know how to run the shit.
Granny goodness.
But the thing is that like you made an interesting point there. What did you just say? I had something and I lost.
I said I was saying that at this point, Warner Brothers knows it was their mistakes.
I got my
Zach,
point. Okay,
but they just want to blame Zach. You know?
They could have easily put the blame on Kevin Tsujihara.
Yeah,
and Toby wouldn't have had to take hardly any blame at all. Really, they could have just blamed it all on him. It's his decision. You know, bad choices, whatever. They didn't. They doubled down on what they were doing because they already had shows in production, and they're riding this thing until the end.
Wheels fall off.
Until the wheels fall off, or you know, and the only way the wheels are going to fall off is if they all lose their position, they all lose their job. But the thing about this is, these guys are all part of this community, and they look out for each other. And so getting someone to be like, okay, the fall guy for the last debacle was Joss Whedon. Even though you have John Berg, he ran and hid, they protected him. Jeff Johns ran and hid, they protected him.
See,
Walter
there's the
Hamada,
difference right there. There's the difference is because John Berg, he came out and he's made his he's made his stance known. Like he's like, hey, I know I screwed up.
Yeah,
we know what his side is, but
And
to your point,
credit too, like,
right? But to Ryan's point, Jeff Johns ran and they sheltered him because without Jeff Johns, anyone at that studio who thinks DC, oh, Jeff's the guy, we need Jeff, and it's like, no, you don't, not anymore, because that man has proven time and time and time again that he has absolutely zero clue what to do with these characters in a live action sense. Because he's just like, oh no, you got to make it like the comic, like I would write it. And it's like, no, asshole, no, you write these characters in live action like absolute trash. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have Jim Lee drawing your words right now, you know. Like
and all Jeff Johns had to do
I'm
was just
untouchable.
shut his mouth, stay in the background, and he would have, gotten credit alongside Zack Snyder and Jim Lee.
him and Zach could have made millions together.
Yeah, exactly.
He just wasn't a jerk off, you know. It's like
Well, the
you
problem
could have
is
avoided all of that.
Ego. And the problem again is that there is a society that these guys are in. Walt Disney was in it, and all the big people were in it, and they're still in it. And it's again, they watch each other's back, and it's not about what they. I put a meme out months ago, and I put, they tell you what you want. It has nothing to do with what the fans really want. Like there are situations where like CBS was, people were sending them corn or something. I forgot what, a popcorn or something they kept sending them something for the continuation of a series, and they made one more season of that series. And it didn't do so well in the ratings, so they dropped it. But in some situations, they do conform to fan. Same thing with the Snyder Cut. They there were two executives that are no longer there. And they gave in and said, hey, let's do this. And they made that executive decision, which ultimately was a good decision. But not really for their careers, because I don't know where they are.
I don't think it was them giving in as much as it was AT&T just seeing money.
Or Toby Emmerich looking at an opportunity for money
that Warner Brothers was ignoring, and AT&T was like, why are you ignoring this? Like, make this, you know what I mean? Like,
when I just think of Jeff Johns, I'm just like, you had all the time in the world to come out and actually like be the hero that you write so much and actually apologize for your atrocious actions. No, you double down, hire a crisis manager to try and prove you're not racist. Homie, I'm not buying your books anymore. I don't care what you write. Trash. Absolute trash of a human being. I'm sorry. I've gotten into I've gotten into it with a lot of people over Jeff Johns because they just want to hammer down like, well, he still writes great comics. I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It doesn't matter so much of that portion of his talent, right? That I mean, you can write great and still be a shit human being.
Exactly.
It's like, where do you draw the line and say, you know what, I'm not down with the way that you're handling yourself or the way that that
exactly
that you're doing this. Yeah. So I mean, for you to say that and take your stance or whatever, that's fantastic. I mean, and more power to you, and more power to the people that don't want to, I guess adhere to that or whatever, and that's cool. But yeah, no, I mean, I get it and I respect it. So,
and it's like, look, if anyone wants to read Three Jokers and you like Three Jokers, Doomsday Clock, anything by Johns,
you're talking to Dawson.
Awesome. No, not even Dawson specifically. Just like anyone in general.
The newer stuff's been good, actually. I don't even think the newer stuff's been that good. Like,
the last thing I read that I enjoyed by Jeff Johns was Aquaman, the comic. Other than that,
the Thrones of Atlantis run and all, you mean?
Yeah,
I was pretty good. That's probably.
After that, I think Doomsday Clock is a bloated mess. Three Jokers. That's a fucking joke of a book. I'm sorry, but the art's great. The story's just awful. I'm sorry. That story is just not good. And there are a lot of Jeff Johns fans who just put their feet in the ground like, you know what you're talking about. He's a great writer. I'm like, no, he's not. And
Well,
Batman
there
Earth
was a
1
guy-
Volume 3 is just absolutely abysmal in every sense of the word. I'm
Three
sorry.
Jokers was like a song that's just like a constant intro and never has a drop.
It's terrible. It's an awful Joker story. It tries to force a relationship between Jason and Barbara, and it's just bad. It's just bad writing. He's a bad writer. And I'm not sorry to admit that I think that. He's a terrible writer.
There was a duo of guys that had a YouTube channel or whatever, and one of them was like Lantern something 2184 or some shit like that, and he changed his name.
Yeah, I remember.
But they were like Jeff Johns supporters, like all the way. They were like, "Oh man, look at what these people are coming out with this time and that time and whatever." I was like, dude, you guys are the most. I mean, nothing against stoners, but like you guys are the most retarded. I mean, when they smoke, they get idiotic. It's like, what is wrong with you people? But yeah, I mean, I watched the Stargirl show,
Same.
I was like, yeah, I get it. It's based on his either sister or stepsister or whatever. And I was like, some tragedy befell her late sister. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. I mean, but that doesn't mean automatically that show is fucking, dope or whatever. I mean, it's still, I'm still going to filter. I'm going to be like,
that's to your point, Ryan. That right there, the fact that he has a late sister, got to create a comic and now has a TV show based on that. And it's like, I really don't understand how that entire situation with Justice League transpired after you got all of that. How do you not have that same kind of human level? And it's just like, and I'm baffled. I'm just, and that is why I'm just like, I can't do anything.
It's not tit for tat in this industry. It's who are you? What can you do for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
It tells me that like he has that like greedy business mind over his creative mind, because as a creative, how could you just sit there and be cool with the Zack Snyder situation just being left the way it is?
How can you honestly have the balls to say we can't make Joss Whedon? Like what? Dude,
just because Jeff Johns wanted to be the Kevin Feige for the DC,
right?
He did, yeah.
Right.
He was going to Kevin.
He was.
Kevin. And Kevin was like, "Yo, what? I can't be associated anymore right now."
Just bad. He's just bad for that position. Bad decision maker. I understand why he's still there in EP capacity. He's got too much tenure at DC for them to probably like really cut him loose immediately. Yeah. I don't doubt that there might be some semblance of truth to him being quietly hushed out. I mean, he's at Image now doing a bunch of other stuff for them.
He is, yeah.
He's doing stuff for Jim.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but he is EP on Superman and Lois, Green Lantern, Titans, and Stargirl. And that's largely why I'm not a fan of Titans either.
Oh, okay.
But does he have like power, or is it just executive producer?
It's developed by Greg Walker, Greg Berlanti, and Jeff Johns, and he wrote the first episode of season 3. So that right there tells me he's in the writers' room.
Gotcha.
I still like it better than Stargirl.
I haven't seen season 2, so I can't speak to.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch season 2 because I didn't think
I haven't watched season 2.
It was kind of cheesy to me. I don't know. Like,
oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, definitely cheesy. Definitely cheesy.
People talk about Titans having a big budget, and I'm like, I don't see it. Stargirl, I would actually argue Stargirl probably has better use of its budget.
Yeah, there's some good effects and stuff.
There's some really good. They make good use of their effects and time.
It's just a little like too much like One Tree Hillish to me or whatever.
Agreed.
Well, I mean, that's
100%.
The cup that they're coming from is that whole
teenage superhero
thing. Yeah, and these kids that they're putting in place as the heroes. They just don't resonate with me. They're just like, I mean, there's that one chick that has the goggles. I'm like, why the fuck are you even on the show?
That's really what I don't like about it. If it was just her, I think it'd be better. But like the fact that they're trying to have this like teenage girl,
teenage justice society. Yeah. I'm like, you know what they should do? They should have grown it very slowly. Like concentrate on her, get her character, in the bag. And then introduce other characters as you go. you know, and that's the whole that's a good show right there, you know, as far as like
It's
know.
like they all happen to be friends and like, oh, we have powers too, and
we chose this city because it has a great underground system.
Like I think it's by like the 5th episode they all got costumes and become superheroes.
It just occurred to me
they're like fucking
that-
juniors in high school.
I think Titans and Stargirl should change concepts. Because they would make so much more.
Red Hood
because
should go to Stargirl.
Well, it would probably make a lot more sense height wise, but like truly, like, you know, the Teen Titans, like make them teenagers.
Yeah,
take the Justice Society, make them adults, give them adult things to do. Show me a Green Lantern.
Yeah, because
like,
I mean, you didn't have to have Stargirl as a kid. You know, she could have
Right.
been a young adult. You know,
Right.
but they made her a kid, and everybody else had to be a kid. So it was just like, I don't know, you star man.
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that all it takes is just one bad egg. In
One
terms of
bad
like
day.
a creative, one bad day, one bad egg in terms of a
Fuck up
creative
everything.
person that just tanks any kind of excitement for any kind of project as long as they're
Yeah.
attached to it. Because you just know that their service of quality is just not quality. It's just
Yeah,
Trash.
it's definitely trash. Yeah,
That's kind of how I'm feeling about Warner Brothers as a fucking whole right now.
I mean, like, what's there to be excited about? Because we're all just like on pins and needles waiting for the next DC
Well,
project.
to Ryan's
for
point,
fandom.
to Ryan's
Trash
point,
though.
they do hire people to make things that might make them money, and in the off chance that they, you know, they've been doing this for years, right?
Right.
That's how we got Batman versus Superman, Man of Steel, obviously. But, you know, like regards to like the Batman, Black Adam, Aquaman, I'm down for those.
Yeah.
Stuff after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shazam, yeah, Fear of the Gods, I'm gonna see. Definitely. Flash, I have a superhero podcast. I kind of have to talk about this shit if I really like want to keep my audience as little as it is, but still, like, you know, I do and genuinely enjoy talking about this stuff, but like when it comes to talking about it, I'm not just gonna like blindly sheepily be like, oh, it's so damn good. You know, like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I got one a guy like that. I was on a stream earlier today, and I watched that new movie Malignant.
oh, okay, I haven't seen it yet.
It was an interesting concept, but it wasn't the ending of it wasn't great.
Okay.
They didn't really know how to wrap it up or to like, you know, sew it up. And this is James Wan,
Right.
and I was like, yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's worth a watch. I wouldn't go buy it. It's
Would you
not
go
going
to
to
a
end
theater
up
and watch it?
Yeah, I would. I'm glad I watched it at the house. You know, didn't waste any money. You know, going to a theater, but again, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest movie. It was an interesting concept, but it didn't wrap up at the end all that great. So I was like, it was okay. And this one guy was just like, oh man, no, that thing was excellent. I'm like, hey, like what you like, man. That's awesome. I'm glad that you liked it, but that just because you liked it doesn't mean that everybody
Everyone
has
has
to.
good-
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So let me ask you this. Do you
Mhm.
think that Malignant, as far as James Wan's horror craft is concerned, do you think this was a nice return? Do you think it wasn't a so nice return? Do you think that
I think
he
if
did
you
some things
liked
different?
The last one, the Devil Made Me Do It. It's on that
Oh,
same level. Did
He didn't
direct
do that though. I don't
No.
think
He
so.
just produced it.
Yeah.
As far as like him coming back to the director's chair, then if that wasn't him, I think that Insidious 2 and the other one, The Conjuring 2,
Conjuring 2.
were better
Yeah.
films. I think
Okay.
that they this one it teetered on. It wasn't really a horror movie. It had
Right.
horror elements, but
Okay.
it was kind of sci-fi-ish a little bit.
Now I'm
And it was kind of like it was a mystery. It was a
I'm not
mystery.
like a horror person.
So it was like it was interesting until you find out everything. Then you're like, oh, okay. He tried to pull like a Sixth Sense off
Okay.
in this, and so
yeah, I've heard a lot of mixed reactions to it. So I'm just
Yeah,
curious what your take is.
No,
'Cause you're very constructive with your words at the very least.
I try to, if I don't like something, it's not that I just don't like it. I try to tell you why I don't like it, and give, and offer, what they possibly could have done to make it better, in some situations, because I just don't like throwing out, oh, this sucks, oh, that sucks, or whatever. Right. If we actually want to, break it down and talk about it, I'm going to try to talk spoilers here because it just came out yesterday. But I do like to have constructive, communication on what could have been better, where James could have added something to make it a little bit more suspenseful or interesting or whatever. Right. Yeah, I mean, the same thing with Justice League. Same thing with Birds of Prey. I think they're trash, but I think they are movies that I can talk about and say if they'd done these certain things, it could have been a better product.
In Justice League's case, like lit it on fire.
Nah,
I was tempted to like throw mine out
because then you'd have Anthony running around saying, "Yo, that movie was fire." And you don't want that.
Yeah, when I got my physical copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I seriously thought about just tossing.
Oh no! See, that's the wrong thing. Wrong thing. Don't do the whole Beatles thing where they threw records and shit in the fire. What you want to do is you want to have that copy, because years down the line, you're going to have somebody that's going to be like, hey,
yeah,
what's the difference? Yeah. So this is the difference. Watch this shit movie and then watch this 4-hour epic. And that way you can understand why we think the way we do, why we want these things, why we're adamant about it, why we're fans, what made us fans of this. And you can see what the studio did and what the studio thought was acceptable for audience consumption versus letting this guy have his time to mourn his daughter's death, and allow him time to finish his film and put it out there.
There really has never been a more out in the public prime example of a studio dropping the ball.
I mean, you got the Donner cut.
I
mean, that's the only thing that can equivalent to what the Snyder cut is.
But even that isn't close to
it's not close because
it's almost
there was no personal tragedy involved with Richard Donner. It was just the Salkinds versus Richard, and he walked.
Yeah.
And so
because they were being very petulant, they were being very egotistical.
Because they owned the property and they wanted him to succumb to whatever it is that they wanted to see on the screen. Which after that didn't stop. We know that there are a lot of other movies that this sort of happened to or whatever. There's a lot of stuff with Back to the Future that was supposed to happen in part 2 and part 3, but didn't happen because of studio interference and just different things that happened, behind the scenes, what they did to what's his face.
I remember that too, because I was following as
he was supposed to be in the film,
following Back to the Future 2's making,
and then they cast an actor and gave him a whole bunch of makeup to give him the exact likeness of Crispin Glover.
They took Crispin's actual head cast because they take head casts of him. They made prosthetics from his likeness and put it on the guy. And that was without his permission, without his consent, and didn't pay him a dime.
Damn.
Yeah.
So so he went through this whole lawsuit. They ran his name through the dirt. He didn't get another big role until either Charlie's Angels or that
Willard.
Beowulf.
Remember that rat movie?
I'm pretty sure
Willard,
he was all messed up on drugs back then.
Well, he would have been, to be honest with you, he would have been a fantastic Joker.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 110% agree with that.
I
think now Macaulay Culkin would actually be a pretty solid Joker too.
Well, Macaulay, he's gone off the deep end too a little bit. So yeah, I can agree.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I mean that with nothing but respect. I love Home Alone. I do. But I also watch.
Get all those druggy kids in here.
But let me ask this: Have any of you guys seen Party Monster?
No, I haven't seen it. Is
that no? When he started, I saw this thing he did. It was on YouTube, where it was just a short, and he was in it, and he had long hair, and I don't remember too much about it, but it was kind of funny. But that was that was either right before or right after Michael Jackson died. I don't recall, but yeah, no, he's fucked. Ever since he started like playing around with like the donuts, those crazy donuts in where is it? I think it's somewhere northwest. They got some weird shit going on up there and all that. So he got caught up, and so his bunny rabbit show was kind of off of that. Where he wore his bunny ears around, and he had like a little radio show. But yeah, no, he went off the deep end.
He went off the deep end, and Party Monster is kind of like a movie that he made that is also kind of reflective of the lifestyle, not necessarily the exact lifestyle that he did, but it is very much in the same kind of ballpark.
Well, I mean, all of the stuff that like, you know, Michael Jackson was involved in, I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. And to find out that like Quincy Jones did what he did to Michael, and that's why he's one of the reasons why he's so fucked up, that he
was so,
you know,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the shit that, you know, Joe did to him as well, beating the fuck out of him. You know, I mean, that's a lot of trauma for a kid, you know, and so I can understand why he turned out the way he did. And yeah, that's not a safe environment for children at Neverland, Macaulay, anybody else who's, you know, hanging out with that, because it's not, I don't want to say it's not completely, you know, Michael's fault, but you know, you do what you've learned, you know, you demonstrate learned behavior because of the people that you associate or are exposed to. So yeah, the entertainment industry as a whole is a shitbag for a lot of people.
Yes.
And, you know, casting couches and all that kind of shit, you know, drugs, you know, getting people hooked on drugs, you know, the way that they handle people's money, where, you know, they'll have you sign a contract.
Britney Spears.
They fucked her
like
good.
Yeah, the late 90s especially. That was all the young actors and shit.
I mean, Corey
90s,
Feldman,
that was like
Corey Haim, you know, fucking died.
Boom. There you go.
I mean, that's, you know, Charlie Sheen, you know, it was in that bag, in that mix. I mean, there's a lot of bad things that no one, it's kind of coming to surface now because people are sort of like, okay, well, we're old enough to fucking say something now. Yeah. To where we're not really there's not a lot of retribution or, you know, retribution, a lot of repercussion, you know, from these other entities or whatever. But yeah, I mean,
accountability.
Yeah. It's like, you know, who's going to protect these people, you know, especially when you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So it's really sad. It's a sad thing that these, you know, young, hell, even pageants, you know, little girls at pageants and shit.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
I kind of put it on the parents though for exploiting their kids.
Their parent. Well, I mean, it's the same thing with Macaulay's parents. They exploited their, you know, him and his brother, and
they went ham on the fact that their kids were actors.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of even sitcoms, you know, having their kids on their shows or whatever. They want their kids. They will allow their kids to do anything and everything to get that money. Like, look at Miley Cyrus. Like, her fucking dad was in the industry and allowed for a whole bunch of shit to happen to her, to where look how fucked up she got.
Yeah. The last headline I saw with Miley Cyrus was that she did a duet with Nothing Else Matters with Metallica.
Well,
I thought I'd
Metallica and another who's that guy?
He was always touring and shit. The dad, like he was Billy Ray Cyrus when she was a little kid. He was like, he was huge as a country star back then.
Was it My Achy Breaky Heart? Was that like the?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah. That was him. Dude, I fucking hate country, but yeah, I know it. Like being on TV
right there with you.
I don't know, man. I saw it without the hat. I saw your mullet. I know you're on that side. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm not a country fan either.
Yeah, you know what? I'm down with
country's
old
like
country.
migraine to me.
You know, that's right. Just Tizai is right. It was Elton John. And that guy, that's not his name, but he's another one that, you know, has a lot of, you know, interesting.
Are you like 10 or something? Because she's fine, I guess, but I wouldn't call her a beast. But
she might be a beast. I don't know. I haven't seen her lately.
She was cool on
like, what's that beast? Do you think I really love you, beast?
I like her in what's the night before the Christmas movie? You know, with Seth Rogen and
I never saw them.
oh my god, that's a classic. I watch it every year now. It's a classic, dude. Michael Shannon's like a pot dealer angel in it and shit, dude. Like, it's friggin' nuts.
Didn't Miley Cyrus
yeah, she's in it. That's what I was gonna say. Like she's in the end, she's at the club at the secret Christmas party they get into with all the drugs and shit, and fucking like her part's pretty funny. What happens in it and shit. Like, but that movie's classic, dude. You gotta see that show. You should watch it like this Christmas season, dude. Like it's because what happens
Anthony
is Anthony Mackie and
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
yeah. And like they're three best friends. They go out like the night before Christmas every year. They have a tradition, you know. And Seth Rogen's about to have a baby and shit. So as he's about to go out, the wife's like, "Here, I wanted to give you a present." And gives him this box, and he opens it, and it's like some of every single drug that exists. Like, and he's like, "How'd you get this?" And she's like, "On Craigslist," you know. Just like, and dude, just Seth Rogen's a trip the whole movie because he's just like doing the next thing out of the box and going nuts and shit. It's so funny. It's fucking great.
Too funny. Too funny.
Acting. Dr. Fate.
Acting.
Dr. Fate's asking some weird questions.
I don't know if I'm listening.
But so back to the Warner Brothers thing.
Oh, Flash.
The Flash movie. Yes, my whole thing with the Flash movie, I was saying the truth earlier, is that like now, like this week, like them doing this shit with the Blu-ray, it really fucking grinded my gears. It really like put me in a place of like where it kind of pushed me over an edge as far as like wanting to support them at all. And I really feel like Flash is like their praying is like their magnum opus, like their fucking Zack Snyder's Justice League.
This
like,
is
like they
Flash
wanted
is
to
their
save
last
their asses, you know. Like
for a lot of the
that's
fans.
what I mean. And I'm sorry, but it makes me not want to support it.
Not to mention that, but
like,
that's for Warner Bros. Like I compartmentalize. So Black Adam and Shazam 2, that's New Line. So I'm not,
exactly.
I'm like, okay, I'm not, going nuts on that or whatever. But as far as Warner Brothers Pictures, the Flash is sort of like, what's going to happen? Trash Point. There you go. We'll see.
I didn't even have to know the name. I knew exactly who made that comment.
Me too, before I even looked when he said it, I was like,
"It's Anthony." I know.
Trash Point.
Jeff John's
I mean, it just because I just feel like that's one of them situations where like me speaking with my wallet could make a difference, like,
man,
I do.
The thing is that like, dude, DC movies are such a huge property that not making money, like Flash is going to bring in kids. Like Blue Beetle would be a little bit. Blue Beetle would be like if that thing were like awesome, and it's on HBO Max. But if it were awesome, like that would be a huge win for for Warner Brothers, for HBO Max, because it's not a known character, it's not a huge character, it's not a huge IP. The Flush Trash Point. But like, what's the next one? There's the Flash. What else? Oh, Aquaman 2.
The Batman too, right? That's in there.
Batman. Okay, I'm sorry, but Batman is just gonna it's gonna print money.
Batman's gonna be right.
Even if Batman was like in a dark alley getting but
and that's later on anyway.
By Colin Farrell's Penguin. It would still make a lot of money.
Discovery will actually be in the picture by then anyway, right? Like when by the time Batman comes out, isn't that like later on? In reference to like, isn't that like way after Flash?
Discovery taking ownership.
That's next year, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, won't they be
2023 is when they're official.
I thought it was official next year, 2022.
Yeah, I thought it was 2022.
I believe it's 2023. Oh, okay, no, okay, it's official next year, but the first project is greenlit by after the takeover is going to start in like 2023. Gotcha. So any movies that they greenlight between now and the takeover is all going to be Warner Brother Picture, without Zaslav.
That's why the ship flinging machine's on full blast right now.
It's on full blast because they're like, what's going to stick to the wall? And so far, Batgirl has, and that's been thrown around a lot.
I know you're looking forward to that.
Who, me? Well, it's yet another fantastic Christina Hodson,
That's exactly why I mentioned
writing.
it.
Yeah, man. Well, the thing, and that's why I'm so skeptical about the Flash, because that's her too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but we traded Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio for Christina Hodson. What?
Yeah, really. I know.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, she's creating her after these movies are done. Batgirl is over, and
that's a
Flash is
good
over.
point.
She
too.
has
Another
written
thing.
what, 4 of these movies for DCEU?
Birds of Prey, Flash, Batgirl, and
There's got to be another one.
Well, I know she did Transformers. You mentioned that, but that's not DC.
Everything that you like about Transformers was not Christina Hodson.
Right.
and everything after the thing that you liked about Transformers was E.T., the extraterrestrial. We've already seen that movie.
She's just got the 3 projects, I think. Just
okay,
Batgirl,
just the 3.
Flash,
What about Black Canary? Is that her?
No, that's Misha Green and Journey Smollett Bell. But I think Misha Green's the sole writer on that project.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm thrilled. Let's go.
Have you seen Lovecraft Country?
I have not seen Lovecraft Country. I heard that like the first couple episodes are okay, and then it kind of trails off.
I mean, if you want a sense of how Misha Green's writing is, then that's the show to watch.
She's a trash ass writer. You heard it here first.
I haven't watched it. It didn't really pique my interest, like the trailer or anything. I don't know. It didn't seem like
I enjoyed it.
I'd be into.
Well, the trailer for The Flash is really going to dictate what's going to happen for the future.
Right.
Like, once you see that trailer, you'll be like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that so much is like, how does this shit make sense?
Yeah.
How does the Flash make sense in what we've already seen? And even with, how does the Flash make sense with the new Suicide Squad thing? I know that they're trying to say that, we are trying to, just have Elseworlds or whatever the fuck, or, whatever they're trying to tell you these days. But, I know that they, at the end of the day, they want a connected universe regardless. They see the money.
I don't want them to be in the same universe. Like, fuck the Suicide Squad.
I don't
want the Flash to be anything
in the
like
same
that.
universe, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, it just depends. The Flash is a big gamble for everyone, because we don't know what to expect from the movie. From the story, and we don't. And again, it's Christina, so I don't know how good this story is going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because there's, we've heard how many different times, how many different versions of the script are out there. Obviously, they've got a version of the script with Cyborg. They've got one without Cyborg. So that feels to me a little like Civil War-y, where they had one script with Spider-Man, one without Spider-Man. I'm like, man, I just want to see the movie and
Flash
see what.
Movie especially has been like rumored. It's probably like been rumored to have more scripts.
It has gone through so many directors.
Yep. Keep going. Yeah. How many directors and writers now?
I believe Zemeckis
5.
What wasn't Grant? Was Grant Morrison just writing?
Yes, him and Miller were writing. So I think the first director they had attached was Seth Grahame-Smith. I think he was the first one, and then after him, I think was Rick Famuyiwa, right?
Yeah.
And then after Famuyiwa parted ways, because Johns wound up being the president, that was Francis Daly and Goldstein. So there's 3 and 4. And then they parted ways, and then they couldn't get along with Ezra.
No. And then the 2 guys from 21 Jump Street, right?
Yeah.
The ones that directed Solo, weren't they attached?
Lord and Miller. Oh shit! Yeah,
they were.
Wow, that's right. Yeah, they were before. Goldstein and Daly. That's right. Yeah. Holy shit! So wow, that's 4, 5, 6, Muschietti's like 7.
Yeah, he's like for them bottom of the barrel.
And you know what? Look, I love the It movies that he's done.
Yeah,
and there's a clear '89 reference in the first one.
Yeah,
I like that he was like, let me do my own thing. And, to the studio's credit, they're a director-driven studio. Let him do his own thing. But at the same time,
they're not
you're
really
going to be like, Exactly. Because at the same time, they're like, hey, you can do this, but you can't use Cyborg.
Well, that's the thing, and I think Anthony was right about that with Suicide Squad. Was that like, yeah, hey James, you can do whatever you want, but I need you to do this
For Harley Quinn.
for Harley Quinn, but also for Rick Flag and for Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang, and
yeah.
We need these people dead.
We need this to happen, and they paid them handsomely to come back, reprise their role to die.
Yeah.
To go back to this, this was what he said. Didn't Ezra almost co-write that?
Ezra and Grant Morrison.
With Grant Morrison, yeah.
Grant Morrison.
With the Rick Famuyiwa John, or right?
So
that
I'm
version,
sure that we're going to have a huge list of writing credits attached to the actual credits in the film, because I'm sure that some of the stuff that that Ezra and Grant were coming up with has made it into the movie.
I think that's plausible.
Because I mean, if Ezra's still attached to it, there's no way he's gonna be like, "Yo, I had a fire idea, and you guys, just totally."
You got to figure he's looking at the Flash film after being on the productions of BVS and Justice League and Fantastic Beasts, and he's looking at it like, "Look, if you fuck me on this, I'm done." You know what I mean?
I don't know. I have to say this. Just to preface. I believe that he is a fan of Flash,
Yes.
but I also believe that he's a fan of money. And I think
what actor is not?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I think that he's like attached, but only to an extent, as far as like how his investment, his emotional investment in this.
Right, because he's not, and I mean this in the nicest way, but he hasn't quite had the same experience that Gall and Jason had. They were immediately embraced. They both had their own solo films. His film is a different story entirely because it's gone.
Nobody really liked the
Justice League
that was
Flash
in Justice League,
right?
Yeah. And even like now, there's still kind
of the only reason why he has any good
the stigma is still attached.
Because and the only reason why he has any good what do you call it? Not good favor, but it's like goodwill. Goodwill.
Yeah, there you go.
Is because of Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's the only reason why people
if Zack Snyder's Justice League was the only thing that existed this whole time,
nobody would care about this film.
Yeah,
that's
They would be relying completely and solely on '89 Batman. That's it.
Right. Even
What's
though that
up,
was
Igor?
the first emblem they showed. Hi, Igor.
Yo,
That was the first emblem they showed was Batflex.
Yeah. Because
Bloody
again,
symbol.
it's the thing is that they're trying to capitalize on nostalgia.
Yeah,
Anthony, the answer is probably yes, because he did directly forge this version of the Flash. So and his Batman
he still gets his credit. Just like his credit was on Suicide Squad. His credit was on Wonder Woman 84.
Yep.
His credit will be on the Flash.
Yeah.
His credit will be on the Batman coming up. With
there's a good chance that is possible. Yeah.
No, it is because that was Ben and his film that they that they worked on.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
and
Affleck
it's probably
is
going to be a
listed as
stone
EP on
quarry
that.
because another thing is that he's promoting it. He's like, oh yeah, can't wait to see what Matt's coming up with because he worked with Matt on
I think the production on it is 6 in Idaho, which is Reeves Productions company, not
that
Stone
I
Quarry.
don't know, Anthony.
Does
I
Zach
think he means
still
getting paid.
get
I think he means money.
I mean, you'd have to imagine he probably gets residuals.
He gets
from all the movies
residuals.
that He does.
Yeah.
He gets residuals, yeah, because of the deal that he struck back when I would say probably after Man of Steel, before BVS, when they were world building.
Well, he started at WB, so you'd have to imagine they probably ironed that stuff out years and years ago when he first forged with them. When he was doing 300, when he was doing I can't even remember. Sucker Punch. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the one I haven't seen the most. I still have to revisit it.
I fell
I've
asleep
seen the
during
least.
that film.
Wow.
I know Zach said that there is a director's cut for Sucker Punch that he wants.
There's a
I love
cut that
Sucker Punch.
he wants to
Sucker Punch is
release
awesome.
Yeah.
of that movie but he can't because some of the
It's like the TNT
distributors
contracts and
still
shit
have
like
it under
that,
contract
yeah.
to play the movie that they currently have. So if he were to release a newer cut of the film, that would undercut the showings
Right.
of
Yeah.
Sucker Punch.
Right.
I love it. That's what it's. I mean, it's not my favorite in my. He has so many good ones that it is in lower on the list, but I still love it. It's still a great movie. Like,
I will say that right before watching Army of the Dead, that was one that I did revisit because when you think about Zack Snyder's capability of creating original things, Sucker Punch is the immediate one you point to because that is just all out, straight up his imagination brought to life. And
I was
look at
shocked to
that.
find out it wasn't a comic. Like when I first saw it, I assumed it was, and then to find out that like he just made it up, I was like, oh shit,
So when
a deep story too.
It is. So like when I saw that, and then I went and saw Army of the Dead, I'm just now looking at like Rebel Moon, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want more of this. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not that steep into
Buy
financials.
Sucker Punch to do the cut.
It's not like it's a DC property. I could see it maybe happening. Like,
yeah, but I think it's still owned by Warner Brothers, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think they distributed it.
I don't see Warner Brothers selling anything off of Zack's anytime soon. For now,
I mean, they
just
not anything that's made.
Yeah.
Anything that hasn't been made, like Army of the Dead, they sold off to Netflix, and well, now we've seen what that.
Yeah,
has done,
and they don't want another. They don't want another L, but they're accumulating them as if they do want them.
Christopher Nolan's even talking about shop around his most recent film to other studios because WB is just like, I don't know.
Intersqueller.
It's a square.
Oppenheimer nuclear bomb.
I'm thinking of doing a movie
completely
completely shot from the perspective of the audience.
It's gonna end in New Mexico.
Yeah.
It's gonna have Tom Hardy.
Yes. And Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
And Michael Caine.
I think he would have been a horrible Batman.
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh, yeah. Kenneth Branagh is a good director.
Yeah,
I actually liked Thor. I thought I did not watch his Cinderella. I didn't watch that.
Have you seen his Othello?
I haven't seen Othello either.
Lawrence Fishburne is a fellow in that.
Yeah. But I haven't seen it.
I saw that when I was in high school, so it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I think I saw it in high school too, but it's been a long time. I don't remember.
I got out of high school like 11 years ago, so it's been over a decade.
I think Truth saw it in kindergarten.
How old is that movie, Othello?
Let me look. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Probably
I think it was early 90s, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was like late 90s maybe.
It might. You know what? You might be right.
Is there? Yeah, because like Lawrence Fishburne was a little more like distinguished, like older. I think at that point.
Yeah, because one of his younger
it
movies
wasn't like the King of New York
Apocalypse
days,
Now.
Oh, I stand corrected. Kenneth Branagh did not direct that. That was actually Oliver Parker. He did the screenplay and directed the film. But Kenneth Branagh is in it because he is Iago.
Ah, okay.
Orient Express.
I never saw that one.
Orient Express. I did see that. And he did direct
Murder
that.
on the Orient Express, right?
Murder on the Orient Express.
That's right.
Murder.
Yep.
I think it had Olaf on there, right? He was on that.
Olaf.
What's that kid's name? Olaf. Olaf. But yeah. So Zach's a good director.
Sucker Punch, not that great, but
I mean, the Al Ghul, that was cool. For its time.
Oh, you know what?
I watched it this year because I forgot that I'd seen it. I thought I hadn't seen it, and I watched it, and I was like, oh yeah, I watched this with my kids years ago. Mm-hmm. And I thought the coolest thing about it was like the claw things, the gauntlet claw weapons. was like, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. Again, it wasn't one of his strongest movies, but it was, I guess because it was just complete CG. But yeah, I mean, where were we?
You were carrying the shit. Yeah.
Zack Snyder. Yeah, Zack Snyder. He's a good director.
Isn't the Army of the Dead animated series supposed to come here pretty soon? Like either fall or winter?
I think it should. I think it comes out roughly around the time or same time as
Army of Thieves.
Yeah.
They're both supposed to be 2022, right?
Oh, they might have. You know what? You might be right. They might have pushed it to 2022.
That sucks. I'm looking forward to that.
Or I mean 2021, right? Aren't they? But that's what I didn't.
We're in 2021.
Yeah, I meant 2021.
Yeah.
But I thought they were both coming out before the end of the year. That's what I
think.
meant.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, but I don't know.
I'm dying for that prequel series. Like, I mean, Army of Thieves, I'm excited for it too, but not as much as that prequel.
I'm interested in Army of Thieves. I'm
interested to see what Schweighofer can do behind a camera.
Sure.
I'm curious to see what that's going to be like.
Schwarzenheimer.
Schweighofer.
It's actually producing it, right?
He's producing.
He's like producing. I mean, if you look at like the second 300, that's a good example of like a movie he produced but didn't direct, and it's awesome.
And I'd be fine. Same thing with like,
it's great.
Like Justice League or Batman or whatever. I'm fine with him not just. Yeah. Thanks to Zach. I'm fine with him just sitting back and being an overseer. Kind of like a Kevin Feige. Just sit back. Let you bring the directors and bring David Ayer back. Bring directors in that you think can uphold your vision, or your ensemble, and allow them to do what they want.
By now,
yeah,
David Ayer could have done a 3-movie universe.
We could have had. We could have had 3 Fire Suicide Squad movies that made sense together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, hell, we could have had just like one. I mean, to be honest, in a perfect world, it wouldn't have been Suicide Squad 2 and 3. It would have been Birds of Prey, but like better. It would have been like
Gotham City Sirens.
Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
And then it would have been like, and then the last one would have been the Harley Quinn and Joker movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And we could have had some fantastic movies, but I mean, see, we're looking at it from the incorrect point of view
perspective.
Yeah, perspective of like, what would have been great to have on the shelf,
Right.
We're thinking like, like Phil has all those comics back there. Like he's collecting all these comics. What if those writers or the producers of the comic books were like, no, we're not doing that. Well, then his comic book collection would be less because he wouldn't be interested in some of the shit that they're putting out. Because there's their stories would be trash or wouldn't make any sense or whatever. Same situation, different timeline.
In regards to like the Suicide Squad, I've still maintained even after the first one that maybe a different director should come in and do each one, because the concept of it is really about the small group of D-list villains who come in and do these very Black Ops-esque missions that more often than not aren't world-ending. But they are turned world-ending for the big budget purposes. And, I can understand that. But I think the franchise would truly benefit from being maybe scaled down in budget, but also having a different director on each one.
Sure.
But that's just...
Well, that worked well with Star Wars. So
it didn't all that great.
2 completely different things, but I get your point.
I mean, what they should do, and this is what they should do going forward, in my opinion, is they could have had David Ayer be the overseer of the Suicide Squad franchise. He doesn't necessarily have to direct. He can go off and direct what the Tank movie and then the Tax Collector movie and all that other shit. Great, fine. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing. But be an overseer to the Suicide Squad. Like, that's your baby. Watch it, nurture it, take care of it, make sure it makes sense.
Even the Rogues, I could have saw him doing the Rogues too in Flash's world. I mean, I just feel like he's a good director. in a grounded DC universe, he's a perfect director to take on like the villain side. Especially,
I agree with Phil.
those
It
E-list
should have been
villains,
scaled
you know,
back. It shouldn't have been a world-ending kind of thing, with Enchantress, and her
Should have been
parents.
Joker.
Should have
Joker
been
should have been the main target.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It should have been just a good movie, a good. I mean, basically, what he did with what was that one he did before Sabotage?
Fury. Or no,
Sabotage.
Sorry, no. End of Watch,
That's the
maybe
reason.
I think. Was that before Sabotage?
I love the Rise of Skywalker. It's a fire movie. But yeah, I mean, it could have just been a movie about someone who betrayed the team, and that could have been Slipknot.
Yeah.
And it could have been a better thing, like Joker got to Slipknot, or can you trust Harley Quinn on your team even though you're going after the Joker, But the thing was with Suicide Squad is that they wrote that movie in not that much time.
David Ayer wrote it in like 6 weeks, I think, is what the
yeah, and so he
like
didn't have a whole lot of time to work on it, so therefore you can't really completely fault him on a bad story. But yeah, I mean, he just came off the heels of Sabotage, and Sabotage is pretty much a good Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, it had Deathstroke in it, right?
It did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It did. It had him. It had Schwarzenegger. It had, I mean, towards the end, it kind of got a little stupid with the girl in the trunk that was like, taking out everybody or whatever. But, and that could have easily been Harley. But yeah, I mean, it was, it just, we could have had a better universe if we had people in place that actually cared about the story versus cared about the money, because the money will come.
Yeah,
word of mouth is going to get out there. It's going to get people to
make
purchase, to invest.
I mean,
they don't have that foresight. They don't care.
Look at the Dark Knight trilogy. You would think that they would have
start off strong and you trickle out.
What that did, No, I'm saying money wise though, like Batman Begins, because of coming off the heels.
But Batman
again,
dude, that's just easy money.
Great in the beginning, it was like
yeah.
I know it was.
But then by Dark Knight, it blew up. It was like
Yeah, people came out for Dark Knight, and people came back out for Dark Knight Rises, and left confused.
But the trilogy as a whole was it started out small.
See, I'm tired of the whole trilogy thing. That's why I like Matrix 4. I like the concept. Like, fucking give us a fourth movie. There you go. Just what? Fourth movie? What are you, crazy? I
forgot about Matrix 4 when I was thinking of stuff to talk about in the beginning.
And but yeah, I mean, I'm getting tired of the whole trilogy trope. Like, oh man, you got to make a trilogy? like, oh dude, it's got to be in a corner at that just point. Make good movies and keep making good movies as long as the character's story makes sense and people still keep coming. Kind of like Bond. Like, they just keep making Bond movies. Like, okay, that's pretty much what Batman is. They just keep making Batman movies.
I actually watched Animatrix for the first time today.
Nice.
Oh,
right before this stream, because Enosh and Dawson were talking about it earlier, and I was like, well, let me check it out. And I didn't even know Junkie XL did some of the score, or he might have did the whole score, but yeah, I didn't realize.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
But yeah, that was pretty good. I'm surprised I never saw that or heard about the fact that I should have seen that. You know what I mean? But with Matrix 4, I'm like, I really hope it's not just like a big nostalgia cash grab, because back when they finished part 3, they did have an original plan in place to do a 4, and it was going to be a prequel about the first anomaly, the first one, the first construct, and everything. Like, because you remember how in what was it, part 3, when he's talking to the
architect,
and he's like, there's been
Colonel Sanders.
I was like, what the fuck?
There's been a bunch of you, you know what I mean? There's been a bunch of you. You're not the first. Like, we've rebooted it and gotten better over time and everything. Basically, he tells them.
Yeah.
And the prequel movie was supposed to be about the first time they did the construct and everything. and supposedly it was going to be like a more primitive version too, like maybe like people would have been, you know, like shit would have been less realistic or something. I don't know, you know, because they were developing the realism of the Matrix over time too, you know. So I thought it was a cool concept, and now this kind of seems like maybe it's just purposely adding a story on to have a nostalgia cash grab. You know, that's what I'm worried about.
Well, I think for this one, it's more of like maybe the like the Wachowski brothers. Maybe they had a cool concept.
Sisters.
That's what I hope. Yeah.
If you still got, if it's still dangling,
I wanted to like,
you know,
I wanted to blow my mind. You know, I wanted to like be like, oh shit, you know, like I don't want it to be boring and just action. I want it to have with the.
Well, this is also only.
You know, like,
this is also only one of the sisters. She was not both the director's chair this time. It's only Lana.
Yeah.
So because
the
I think Lily,
said, fuck you, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, the other one was like, I'm good. You guys can do what you want. You have my blessing, but I'm not coming back for it. So I found that kind of interesting. That only one decided to come back and do it.
Well, yeah, the one.
Cotton on to what Zach was doing. Audience would have grown from there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, Paul.
Yep.
Wait.
I swear
Cotton?
by that.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know
that's
what cotton
what
is as a
Feige and
verb.
Marvel got right. That's what, you know. That's the one credit I will always give to Marvel and Feige. No matter how I feel about the movies, they didn't waver.
Yeah.
They stuck.
Yeah.
They stuck.
But they
with
didn't
their
panic
plan,
too.
and that's why they got what they got. You know what I mean? Because no matter.
I mean,
what,
not all Marvel movies were like, you know, $1 million
Bangers.
whatever, right? Like, I mean, you had Thor,
Yeah,
the Dark
and a lot of
World,
them got
didn't bring a lot
criticized
of
in the early
money.
days too. Like, you know,
I mean,
First Avenger only grossed like 300 something worldwide.
Yeah.
And
oh
that's
yeah,
one of
yeah,
our best
Captain
movies,
America. I
you
mean,
know?
and that was a good movie. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Like Winter Soldier's better, but you know, it was still a good,
Right.
solid movie made by
first
you know,
Iron
what's his
Man was
face.
like 5, I think. Right, like something 5
Yeah.
something, and
But
And
it's kind of like if you look at Warner Brothers, you know, and I'm kind of growing out of the whole Harry Potter shit. I think that's kind of, you know, silly now. But if you look at like Fantastic Beasts versus Harry Potter, like Fantastic Beasts really hasn't been that good. You know,
The
I mean,
second
it's,
movie's not good at all. Like,
and they're talking about like
watch
doing a third
any
one
of
or
that
whatever, and
stuff.
it's just like, guys, you know, your franchises are starting.
see,
to suck.
that's the thing. They went from doing 5 to doing 3 after 2 didn't do well.
Yeah.
So
Wait. What kind of math was that?
So they initially planned to do 5 movies, and then after 2 did not do well at all at the box office, they were like, "Yeah, we're just doing a trilogy."
Yeah, they go back to the trilogy, like trilogy.
Yeah.
well, the Harry Potter movies are like A to G, aren't they? How many are there? Like, I've
It's-
never
there's,
watched any of them.
Call it a
9?
saga at this point. There's
There's
8
a lot.
movies.
Yeah,
I thought there was 9.
So if you count the Fantastic Beasts movies, there's technically 10. So there's Harry Potter, 1 through 6, and then the 7th part was split into 2 movies. So there's 8
Yeah.
movies. Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, 10.
Yeah, because Fantastic Beasts is what, like a prequel or something to it, right?
It's a prequel, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, where do we go after? No, don't go after. Go before, like the Lord of the Rings. Yes.
I mean, if you establish a good lure in the first place, I like prequels. I think prequels work.
I'm worried about the Lord of the Rings, like as far as story. I think
Amazon?
visually it'll look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because I mean, again, this is Warner Brothers again. The Hobbit trilogy just wasn't great.
No.
It was okay.
No, this is Amazon for the new Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Amazon.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, Amazon's doing the new.
Oh, okay. Well,
Rings show.
okay, maybe a little bit better.
That matter of fact, I think the first.
I mean, if you were
season
going to say
they
Netflix,
invested-
I'd be like, oh, it's fire.
No, I think
Jupiter's
Lord of
Legacy,
the Rings.
shit.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Never mind. But, yeah, thanks for grounding me, Truth.
I think Lord of the Rings is the most expensive thing Amazon has put money into thus far, as far as their studios, as far as Amazon Studios is concerned. So they're anticipating. Yeah, they're anticipating a huge draw, but I'm not quite sure that draw is there for the reasons you just listed. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Like, we can't lose.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's been a while too since that franchise was peaking or anything, and I think they might be overestimating it too.
I think they're kind of banking on some of the Game of Thrones high.
Game of Thrones high. Yeah, I know. but to
It's
me,
kinda
it's not
different
very
than
much the
last
same
season, right?
thing. To me, it's a lot different. The two. Like,
Well, that's what I
I
mean.
mean, I didn't really catch on to the Game of Thrones.
I was into it, but I fell
like,
out.
I watched
just
the
did
first
a few months
season.
ago.
And it was only because of a girl. Like she was like, yeah, it's fire, and I was like, okay. It's like kind of weird that you would
So
talk
wait,
like
you watched the
Anthony.
first season and didn't want to keep going?
I
Really?
didn't. I like
Wow.
when the dragons were done, I was like, I'm done.
I mean,
was
that's it's not my cup of tea.
the-
Like, I don't
I
like that
watched
stuff
because
but
of Sean
I got
Bean.
hooked on it. I did.
And I was like, oh, it's freaking, what's his face from Lord of the Rings. I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Boromir.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, let's go. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
he
no.
dies. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Jason, I like
maybe
Jason
let's not
Momoa's character too. He was good. I
Khal Drogo.
like when him and
He
him
was cool, but he
girl were
died
together.
too.
They died
Yeah.
in season 1. Both of them did.
Yeah. So no reason for me to continue. I wasn't really down with the girl, the blonde that was in Terminator.
Targaryen. Yeah.
The
Daenerys
Targaryen. From,
Targaryen.
Oh. He's a Targaryen. Mine works don't work on me.
Wait, you talking about the dragon chick?
Yeah, the dragon
Oh my
chick.
god, dude, she's like the main reason I watched the show. Like,
I
she's
bowed out
amazing. Like,
after season 6 because it just after season 6 it really does just become more of the same. It's like, oh, unexpected death, oh, giant murder, oh, incest sex. It's like, cool.
See, I'm one of them people too that I knew nothing about the books, and like I loved the end. Like everybody hates the end, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, why does everybody hate this? Like, because I don't know shit about the books. So.
You're like, this is dope. I love the story.
Yeah, like I'm like, it's a big war going on. Like, what's wrong? Like,
What's wrong?
This Mordor?
Hold on.
Where do we get to Mordor?
Hold on.
I'm like, they teamed up with the caveman dudes and shit. Like, that shit's gonna be fire. Like,
Yeah, ultimately it just kind of turned into dragons, titties, and death, and I was like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I was like, is this True Blood?
well, there's nothing wrong with little titties now.
I'm not denying that. But you can see titties in a lot of places. Just put it to you that way.
But it's better when it's in your geek stuff. Like,
Fair.
I like
I
geek titties.
suppose.
Geek titties.
Big boobs.
I like boobs.
Netflix or Amazon should buy Warner Brothers. Yeah,
I think DC
You mean
films
like one
would
of
get
those
more.
DC
Discovery already bought 'em.
Yeah, DC, like not the whole Warner Brothers. That'd be a little crazy. Like,
I think
I don't
Warner
think they can
should just
afford it. Like,
open up another arm and just make it DC Studios and
Ah,
let people
yeah.
just do DC things at this DC studio.
yeah, without.
But,
without
Well, they did. It's called
executives in the
DC
way,
Films.
yeah.
Is it though? Is it really a full-fledged studio on the Warner lot?
No.
No.
But they called it DC
Without
Films.
someone like Walter out of there. Like,
Bingo.
that's
It's
the
the
problem.
Bingo was his name.
Having executives running it. Like, put them in a separate building away from all the executives. Like,
Who would
For
you
real.
run DC films? Like, who would you want to be in charge?
Jim Lee.
You want him?
Yeah,
you want
Jim Lee would be dope.
Jim
Yeah.
Lee.
I'd even
He's
go,
an
I'd even
artist.
say
He
if
gets
Zach,
it.
If Zach was going to be,
But yeah, he's an artist
have
though.
Chris
He's
Nolan
not
run it. Like,
he's not
He
a
hasn't,
businessman.
produced anything though. Yeah, has he?
what?
Jim
Who,
Lee.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim Lee.
Jim hasn't produced anything?
Has he?
I don't
As
know.
far as like television or films or whatever commercials.
No, I don't think he's been like an EP in that regard. No, but I would definitely say that he, at the very least, he could do a better job of what Walter Hamada's doing.
Definitely have a creative input. I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind.
right. Because like, look, all Walter Hamada's doing is going, Jeff, what do I say? That, and it's like, fuck that, dude. Come on, like, make a decision for yourself. Jim Lee would probably be cognitive to recognize, like, okay, yeah, let's put Blue Beetle on like HBO Max and in theaters. Let's do Batgirl HBO Max in theater. Let's do like, I don't know, a Deathstroke versus Bloodsport versus Deadshot thing. Like, I don't know, but I honestly just feel like Jim Lee has much more of a semblance of care for these characters as opposed to Walter Hamada, who, for all intents and purposes, is literally just going, "Hey Jeff, what do I say?" That.
He's like, "Hey Jeff, what do I say?" And then he goes upstairs with the clipboard, like, "Toby, is this okay? Can I do this?"
Yeah.
Like,
For real.
Oh
Be
my
pretty
god.
good.
But I would like it like if Zack Snyder was like still directing the Justice League movies and shit, like if Chris Nolan took the Hamada's job while Zack was like under him working on the movies.
See,
You know,
I can't
like,
really agree with that one.
Yeah, I'm not down. Like Chris Nolan was just too.
Chris Nolan is not a superhero guy.
He's not a
not-
superhero guy.
well, that's
He's
why
not a
I'm
superhero
saying
guy
put him in
at
the
all.
executive position and have Zack really running the show.
Okay,
you know
even
what I
that,
mean? Like,
even still, that makes me think of when Denny O'Neil was editor at DC Comics, and he wasn't too keen on a lot of superhero stories getting put out. So I feel like if you put Christopher Nolan in an executive producer capacity, it's going to make it a lot harder to try and justify budgets for certain characters that might require CGI against someone who's not so prevalent with using CGI.
I got it. I mean, I figured since he like fully backed Zack that, you know,
Sure.
he would trust in it. You know what I mean? Like, and
Well, that's why you need an executive.
That was my reasoning
who knows
on
both.
thinking, you know, like,
I would say Charles Roven at that point. Like
Sure,
Charles
yeah,
Roven,
there you
Jim
go.
Lee.
yeah, that,
There you
yeah,
go.
That would be my dream team of running a DC Films studio. Would be Roven and Jim Lee
as
personally.
long as Zack's in there somewhere.
Yeah, Zach.
They could hire him on as contractor. Yeah.
I mean, I think Jim Lee would be good too, as long as Toby isn't above him. You know, like that's.
Yeah, again, you know, when you've got like someone like Toby Emmerich in charge of it all, there's just bound to be just rocky hurdles all the way down, no matter what, because that dude is just unconfident in his leadership, and it truly shows.
Absolutely, yeah.
was nice.
It's. I feel like it's a pony show for Toby. Like he was put there to be a puppet, basically. You know what I mean? Like
Look at the way that there's always that one interview that makes the rounds of all the big wigs of the studios going around when Zack Snyder's name is even mentioned. Toby Emmerich just sitting there like,
yeah,
Zack Snyder.
Film
and it's
God
just
did a
like
big mean thing out of it, like,
dude, it's just like, how much of a stump do you have up your ass about this? And it's just like, dude,
what happened? Like, why is there so much hatred for Zack Snyder?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what
the thing is he's so if he was so worried about like what this end result's going to be and the fact that like he'll be fucked out of a job or whatever, if he would have just tried to do the right thing and reverse the whole situation in the first place when Zack Snyder's Justice League came to light, he could look good out of it. He could have still came out on top out of the whole thing. If you know, saying it's crazy, dude, because they like I don't see how like it's not going to get noticed that they're like hemorrhaging money, basically. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous, dude. Like you got a whole fan base here starving for fucking Zack Snyder's.
Well, they're going to give you
and merch and everything
content.
else, and you know, it's like,
do you not see fandom? I mean, what's going on? I mean,
I'm not even gonna watch fandom, dude. I could give a shit, really. Like,
I'll watch it just to see what they have.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
need
not gonna
content.
watch it live. I'll check videos out after the fact when they're done. But I'm not gonna be sitting there like, oh, I'm waiting for the next panel.
Yeah,
yeah. Black Adam, the Batman, and Flash. That's it.
I'm more worried about seeing the games, honestly.
Batman, Black Adam, Aquaman, and maybe a little bit of Shazam, but I digress.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see if they show off anything for Green Lantern on HBO Max.
I think we're gonna get for Green Lantern. I think we'll get like a
trailer.
No. I think we're gonna get like concept art or you know the people who are going to be playing the characters or whatever, because they released the names of some of them. Mm-hmm. So there's a little tiny bit of confidence in there with that, but not a lot. And that's what worries me about that is that there's not. With Green Lantern, there's not a lot of confidence in this property, and I'm like, wow, man, really? They don't think it's going to do well.
They're still tainted from 2011. They've been terrified to touch the character since 2011. Like it's ridiculous. Like
and it worries me because if this thing sucks, it puts even more damage to the brand of Green Lantern.
Like we'll never get another Green Lantern. I know.
Which is so frustrating because like. Green Lantern is basically DC Star Wars, and if done correctly, like
it's like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
and that's really what James Gunn should have done is
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. That would have been because he could have played with obscure,
I don't trust you.
okay. Controversy. All right, let's talk about it.
Well, I'd say maybe with Green Lantern, he would have done a better job because he wouldn't have tried to go so over the top ridiculous. You know,
no, he could have gone over the top and ridiculous. You know, because it's aliens, right? That's what he's known for with the Guardians of the Galaxy, going over the top there. He went over the top with
it's almost too obvious.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I still felt like Guardians was more grounded than the Suicide Squad. Like I felt more like it was more real. The
first one
and the characters.
The second one was a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
The second one's not.
So if he did Green Lantern more.
Oh, the Guardian. Yeah, the Guardians 2
I
sucked.
think it could be good. I guess.
Coolest thing about the Guardians 2 was what's his face? Ego. Yeah.
That's not even my favorite.
I like
Kurt
the
Russell.
de-aging Kurt Russell. Yeah, I like de-aging Kurt Russell. And I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of that. I really like Kurt Russell, but what really bothered me about that was how they gave Peter Quill this celestial power, but the minute Ego was gone, it was suddenly away from him. I was like, that's not how biology works, but okay, let's just go with it.
He turned into movie logic. Pac-Man. I'm like, what is this stupid shit, bro?
Yeah, dude.
Whoa. What's wrong with Pac-Man?
I like Pac-Man, just not in a fucking Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Right.
Fucking Chris Pratt. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, and it's just I
like him as Star-Lord, though. I did.
I love Chris Pratt, so.
That whole scene in the opening scene with him doing the fucking dance and all, like,
what I like is what they did. What was it, in Infinity War? That same scene without the music. That made it that much better.
Yeah.
In Endgame, they revisit the Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Because Infinity War, he gets snapped.
Is he one of the ones that gets snapped?
Yeah, pretty much the entire Guardians gets snapped except for Nebula and Rocket.
Well, it's because Rocket was easier to just have him around because he's CG.
Right.
I think I watched both of them twice when they first came out, and I haven't watched them.
I haven't watched them since.
I think Infinity War is the better one, to be honest. But
I agree.
I think so too. Yeah, from what I remember. Yeah,
it's the better story.
It's really weird too.
They gave a shit about it.
Ending on a bad note was cool too.
It's like the Russo brothers are super hit miss, literally hit miss, because they get Winter Soldier so right, and then Civil War is like, and then you get to Infinity War, you're like, right on. And then you get to Endgame, and you're like,
Well, what you do is you commission them for the movie. They're like, yo, we got this bad idea. Okay, great, let's do it. And then don't release that one because it's gonna suck.
See, for me, it's like Civil War. It's like I like the whole movie leading up to the airport, but then the airport's like all the stakes we've built up the whole movie just get reduced to like stupid ass jokes and like we're sparring basically, you know, because like we're all still going to be friends after this, but let's fight for the fucking sake of it for an action scene, you know? Like, it was just fucking stupid, dude. Like,
and it's also kind of ironic that Captain America still has like the best trilogy in the MCU of the three big ones that have the trilogy.
Well, it's funny because you know, in the MCU, Captain America has been the character that's been the most protected.
Right.
Like no one has ever done any stupid shit with Steve Rogers. Like other characters, yes, but Captain America has always been consistent. It's like, protect this character.
Yeah. Sure, I can agree with that.
So, like, you know, they take Tony Stark into a very jokey direction for Iron Man 3. They turn Thor Ragnarok into a straight up joke fest. Like, dude.
Even Iron Man 2, it's like they tried to touch on the alcoholism, but like made a joke out of that basically. You know, like it was like.
But that's still John Favreau.
Like, Mr. Stark, what are you doing?
There are things in that movie I can forgive, but I don't disagree.
I wish they would have kept what's his name?
Justin Hammer
as Rhodey.
Terrence Howard.
Yeah, I was just watching the whole story about how he got screwed over in that whole deal and everything. That was crazy, like because he's a really good actor. That dude. Like, I
would have liked to see
that. Should have been one of the What If episodes. What if Terrence Howard was still?
It was still War Machine. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be a dope episode.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I doubt they'll ever do it though.
No, he's made his bed and
they won't work with Terrence Howard for the same reason they won't work with Edward Norton. They're just like no. We're good. We know we owe you, but we're good.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Lantern
Edgar
movie.
Wright with his
If
Ant-Man
things
movie.
went according to plan. Spider-Verse. Oh,
That's another one I could have seen Ayer doing.
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Wait, what do
mean,
you guys think?
It's like, if
would
someone
have
else is
directed
like,
Green
I mean, if he's
Lantern
got
and
the right
things would-
effects
where he
people for the
plan?
space effects and all storyline.
I think that
wise, I could
guy
see
that
him
was supposed to
covering it,
direct
like-
The Flash, what's his name? Famuyiwa?
From a
Femiua.
Yeah, he might have directed Green Lantern.
No, you know what's funny is I think Seth Grahame-Smith is an EP on Green Lantern Now, the TV show, and he was originally the director of The Flash.
Oh, okay.
So, as far as if it was Green Lantern in the Snyderverse, I almost want to say Denis Villeneuve, but I don't think he's a superhero fanatic or any like hero fan in any capacity. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. Honestly, Lee Wannell, who did Upgrade,
I love that movie.
yeah, I'd love to see Lee
Great
Wannell
movie.
maybe tackle that, or honestly him do this.
Upgrade.
Batman Beyond.
Oh, you mean Venom 1?
The better version.
I mean Blade Runner 2049 on a $15 million budget. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Or maybe Reuben Fleischer. He might not do a half bad for Green Lantern. I don't know.
I would like seeing Christopher McQuarrie because he was going to do the Superman movie with him.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And Warner Brothers said no.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
like, no,
I remember
we
when he talked to me
we
about
have a
that.
plan.
Yeah.
And they were like, really? They're like, no, we don't really have a plan. Sure.
I could even yeah, I mean, not that I think Zach would pick them, but I could even see the Russo brothers doing the Green Lantern movies. Cool.
See that.
Like, that's one of those characters that it's like it could really go one way or the other. It could be great or it could be wrong, depending on certain creative choices with the characters. You know, like.
Well, I know Mark Campbell, who directed the first Green Lantern movie, like he had no idea what to do with the VFX and the Green Lantern. He was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I guess he also fought with the studio. He wanted Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper, but they had already cast Reynolds.
Man, Bradley Cooper would have been good.
Yeah.
Would have been good.
Yeah,
He would have
really
been
good
good Hal
choice.
Jordan. Yeah, definitely. Like he's a good actor too. He's a Philly boy.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. I would have liked him for as Nathan Drake instead of Trash Holland, but you know, it is what it is.
We
I
have
keep
this
forgetting
thing-
Tom Holland is going to be Nathan Drake. I keep forgetting
Yeah.
that's totally going to be a thing that's happening because it's just so hard to visualize. Because in my mind, I think Nathan Fillion,
Yeah,
You
me
know,
too.
and
Yeah,
it's
I
just
don't
like
think 5'4" Trash Holland, but you know,
he is 5'4", huh? That's wild to think about.
And Marky Mark is supposed to be in that too, right?
Which looks
Mark
nothing like
Wahlberg,
Sully
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Marky Mark needs to be dead man.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. That's a great idea.
Boston
I like
Brand,
that.
man.
That's a great idea. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Get the
could-
hell out of here!
I could even
Constantine,
see him
what's
with
the
the
matter with
bald
you?
head too. You know, with the white makeup and the bald head. I could tell you.
Hell yeah.
Why not?
Hell
Let's
yeah.
do it.
I'd love to see
Dude,
that.
it's amazing. Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say with Bradley Cooper, it's funny because like we got. I don't know if you've ever seen this, Truth, because like. But we have this video thing here, right? Like as the Eagles fans, it's like we have these like Fly Eagles Fly videos that like there's this one that they always play in the beginning of the game and shit, and we always get hyped up watch them on YouTube and shit. But it's like Bradley Cooper is like the narration voice for it, you know, like, and it's like this whole like showing shots of the neighborhood, like a blue collar town with a da-da-da, you know what I mean? Like this whole like Fly Eagles Fly thing, you know, and like Bradley Cooper's the voice for it. It's great. Like,
I love Bradley Cooper.
He's a funny guy.
Do you think Zach will bring back Ryan Reynolds as Hal? What do you think, Zero Fat?
Oh man, Anthony, what are you smoking? What the hell are you smoking today? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the silliest thing I think I've heard all night. No, he's not coming back ever.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah, no,
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Ryan Reynolds in blackface playing John Stewart, or just
No, I'm saying like Zach.
There you go. That's it. That's the only thing that makes sense in my world.
Jordan. Yeah. Which
Yeah,
made me happy to even like the fact that he considered that Jon Stewart was going to be his Green Lantern, because that made me happy because I'm a huge fan of Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like my Green Lantern is in fact Jon Stewart. So I'm bummed that WB was like, you can't use Green Lantern. It's like, why? You guys aren't doing fucking
Yeah,
shit
they're
with
not
it
doing
right
it
now.
Afraid to
for
use
him,
them,
with
so why
him.
not? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like,
It's just
Yeah.
Because I had no idea about Hal Jordan. Because I remember in the Superman animated series, they introduced Kyle Rayner.
They introduced
instead
Kyle
of
Rayner,
Ryan
right.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, but Hal Jordan. And then, with Justice League Unlimited, they introduced Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
And then the movie came out and they said Hal Jordan. I'm like, who the fuck is Hal Jordan? It's like, oh, he's a Green Lantern. Oh, he's the first Green Lantern. I was like, oh, okay.
And even then, he's technically not even the first Green Lantern. He's
Yeah.
technically the second.
I mean, there was even a patch of the comics around that time too that like Hal was gone and
He was dead.
Jon Stewart
from
was the
Parallax.
main Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, for a long time, Stewart was even like off doing his own stuff in different sectors, and Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern for the Justice League for a short time.
mhm.
So
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm down with Hal. I'm down with John. The only one I don't care for is Simon Baz and the fucking
Jessica
the other
Cruz.
chick, Jessica Cruz, and they have to rely on each other or be around each other or some shit. It's like some stupid symbiote thing. And
Wait, when did that start? That's the thing.
they had to be like
Because she came from
something
the,
was split.
like a duo.
It was like
she
it's
came
like
from
a
the
duo
crime
thing.
syndicate
It's
at
weird.
first, right? From the other Green Lantern's ring, from the Ultraman.
She got a broken
right? Like,
Green Lantern ring, I think, or something.
no,
I
it's
have to look it up again.
what's the crime syndicate's Green Lantern? What's his name? Power Ring.
Power
That's
Ring, yeah.
she got her powers from that ring. That's the original
wild.
when she first came in the New 52. Like, and
Well, they made it to where they have to rely on each other or some shit.
yeah, that's new then. That must
Doesn't
have happened
Simon
after
Baz
Rebirth,
like also use a handgun for some reason too?
He's a Muslim that is apparently gay and also uses
That's
firearms constructs. I think. So weird.
It's not even so much like the personality or the
Can you even be a Muslim
the
and be
culture.
gay? Is that
No, you
But like, I
mean, in this day and age, probably.
like that stuff doesn't bother me, but just the idea of like, why does a Green Lantern need an actual physical gun?
Yeah.
That doesn't really make sense to me.
that doesn't make
much.
sense at all.
Yeah. Like I just remember seeing that image and I was like, that doesn't make a lick of fucking sense whatsoever.
I mean, the only thing I like about is Simon Baz at all is the mask. I think
Yes,
the
the
mask
look.
is pretty dope.
Yes,
I'm
Anthony,
like,
I
okay,
love
cool.
it. I love it.
Jessica
I've
Cruz
seen it.
having the lantern symbol on her eye. I'm like, that's dumb.
I like it.
Well, you
What does it make me
would.
think of it's
Yeah, you know what? I just remembered that's the whole reason that the power ring dude, because his ring like worked on fear or whatever in that,
Yeah.
right.
and
And it
was,
scared her
like,
eye.
She was traumatized about something and was like locking herself in her apartment. Like her sister kept trying to get
She
her
was
to
an
come
agoraphobic.
out,
She was an
and-
agoraphobic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why the ring got drawn to her after Power Ring got killed in like the Forever Evil storyline or whatever, like or whatever storyline it was when Power Ring got killed, and that's how
Jeff
it went
Johns.
to her. Like, yeah, I think yes, I believe it was. Yeah,
It is. Yeah. Forever Evil is Jeff Johns.
Yeah, no, they
and then how
Who would
helped her get
direct it? I don't
control of
know.
it and all and shit. Like,
Yeah, because I remember like towards the tail end of New 52, but right before Rebirth, they had Hal Jordan's. He didn't have a Green Lantern ring anymore, but it was like a glove or something. Yeah, that
Well,
shit was-
they did have that, and that was
honestly one of the
from
books I wasn't subbed to. I was
Krona.
subbed to, like all the other
Krona
Yeah.
had a battery and a glove attached to it, and he
Yeah.
he had the first. He was the first one to harness
right.
the power. So I think he got Krona's gauntlet,
Yeah.
and so and God, you know they really need to like flesh that shit out. They ruined the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they had fleshed his character out, that would have been pretty cool. Becoming the new Power Ring briefly before becoming a Green Lantern of Earth. Yeah, that's true for Jessica Cruz. You're right. Let's see, Jessica Cruz. went on a hunting trip with her friends and unfortunately came across mobsters on
Oh, wait,
hunting
what are you on
trip.
Google?
Came
I thought
across
you were reading the
mobsters.
chat. I'm like, what the fuck is he looking
No,
at?
who were burying a body. Unwilling to have witnesses, the mobsters shot and killed Jessica's friends while Jessica herself managed to escape, but was extremely traumatized by the incident.
Yes. Yeah.
Jessica developed debilitating anxiety and locked herself in a room for 4 years. In a room? That's weird.
Yeah, a single room apartment, studio apartment, I think, something like that.
Let's see. Dark Side War, Green Lantern's Rebirth. Okay, here we go. So after the Dark Side War, Jessica was kicked out of from her apartment, and the others, and at orders of Hal Jordan himself, to test her and another new Green Lantern, Simon Baz, which failed due to their lack of teamwork. So they had to rely on each other. Simon started blaming her, and the two got into an argument. Before it got serious, Hal stopped them and made them summon their power rings. He combined the power rings into one, making them partners. They had no choice but to work together as a team, and that is what I don't like. I think that's stupid. Case closed.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Green Lantern 2011.
The thing I loved the most out of the New 52 run was Guy Gardner becoming the Red Lantern. I wish that.
Oh yeah.
I wish that would have stayed a permanent comic, and they just called it Red Lantern, and Guy became like the Hal of the Reds.
That would have been
that would have been dope. I do like was it Rancor? He is a human Red Lantern. The only other human Red Lantern. And I like his look and all that. But yeah, I do like
all of them.
Guy
That
Gardner,
whole squad of Red Lanterns, like that.
I mean, Atrocitus
awesome.
is dope.
Yeah,
but I mean, when Guy got them to turn good and fight Atrocitus,
I like Bleez.
Against them,
Bleez, Zilix.
Yeah, the cat.
Yep, Zilix.
Yeah, the cat. Yeah, what's his name?
And Big Head Dude.
Inspector Gadget Cat.
The Dexstar.
Madball. Dexter. Yeah, he looks like a Madball back in the 80s. You remember them things?
Yeah. Oh, they also have a guy like that on the Green Lantern, but he has 4 legs, but he's a ball. Yeah, and I just that's why I think that James Gunn would have been better fit for the weird aliens.
And then Supergirl.
Makes sense.
Supergirl. Yeah, Supergirl. Well, they had a lot of Red Lantern.
That's your shirt. Your shirt, Ryan. I think I got it.
Oh, you got it? Oh, hell yeah.
That's the Red Daughter. That's what I was. Yes. I said in the chat the one night, the Red Daughter shirt, and he's like, I don't know what he's talking about, Red Daughter.
I was like, I haven't read that line,
that
but I've seen the picture.
Dude, Supergirl was fucking vicious in that storyline, dude. When she became red, like,
yeah.
And that's why the CW show kind of pissed me off.
And see, that's the other thing, man, is they could have made.
They made her all nice and.
They could have made a fucking killer. Like Blackest Night film after the Dark Side War. Where do you go? Fucking Brightest Day, Blackest Night, and Wonder Woman would have been a Star Sapphire. Flash would have been a Blue Lantern.
Aquaman would have been dead.
Aquaman would have been dead finally. Well, I mean, he is getting his black suit.
That's true. The stealth suit, the blue suit. Get it right. It's blue, damn it.
I'm sorry, but he's
guard?
Turned evil. Black suits always denote that they're evil now. So you didn't know that.
I think it looks like
Superman wasn't evil in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Aqualad
Superman was evil throughout Man of Steel through Zack Snyder's Justice League. Everybody knows
that's a lie. That's a lie. You are lying.
It's common knowledge.
You are lying and feeding the people misinformation. 4 clicks. You can stop now.
Subscribe to Zebra Yes, I thrive on drama.
I'm an asshole.
YouTubers.
I'm an asshole, not Ryan. Just me, not him.
What is this truth? Hashtag hope. What the fuck?
Hashtag what?
Hope.
What?
He had a video 2 days ago. Hashtag hope. It was
I missed the hashtag
Henry
what if I
Cavill
cared.
Superman
you're
training
talking about-
event.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know there was a Superman.
I thought you said
training event.
hashtag ho. I was like, what the fuck are you talking
Hey, yeah,
about?
Twitter for a
what's
couple
up with
days.
this? Truth? Hashtag ho? I mean, come on now.
Little ho-ware. Sorry, what?
So I'm gonna wrap it up soon, but any closing thoughts from everybody on the the whole
Oh, it's gonna be fire.
Warner Brothers? Like Phil and Ryan, I don't know if you heard me, Ryan, I told you, but Phil, about the receipt. Did you hear me talking about the receipt, the Target receipt? Okay, so check this out, right? Like, you know how when you go to Target, you buy a DVD, you buy a movie,
Right.
you buy food, anything, it like says it on the receipt. Like I was saying, I go to Target all the time, buy a DC animated movie, and it'll say like Batman animated, like abbreviated, whatever the movie is, right? When I bought Zack Snyder's Justice League, all it says is capital B, capital D, Blu-ray disc. That's it. And then the price. It doesn't say Zack Snyder's Justice League anywhere off the barcode. When I rang it up, like the receipt just says Blu-ray disc. And that's it. So, but yeah, that's anyway. The point was, any closing thoughts about all this shit that's going on and people's orders getting canceled and, the unlisted trailer and yada, yada, yada. And, any final thoughts about it from everybody?
Incompetence at its absolute finest.
Well, I mean, it goes to show that, Warner Brothers distribution, they don't care.
Yep.
Subscribe from Secret.
Oh, Anthony. Oh, he's my number one fan. He can never.
He's your
unsubscribe
mob,
from me.
isn't he? He's your number one guy.
Yeah, my number one guy.
Well, like I said, I'm definitely at the point right now where I don't have the desire to give Warner Brothers my money at all until something starts.
Until the Matrix comes out.
In
a couple months.
I meant more
When
DC
Justice
films.
comes
I refuse to buy.
It's going to be on HBO Max.
This
He doesn't really have to give them their money then.
Is anybody gonna watch Injustice, the animated movie?
Yeah,
I'll watch
I
it.
am.
Yeah.
It's DC
Okay.
superhero. I mean, obviously, I've got a little option.
The animated universe has never steered me wrong. That's for the most part. I'll give that credit. Like,
I'll say Kevin Pollak sounds like a really nifty Joker. He's
Yeah.
definitely got some chords going on there, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I like Kevin. He's pretty dope.
yeah.
Especially in Barry.
Integrity.
Yeah. I mean, he was more fantastic in Willow and Grumpy Old Men.
Fair. fair.
And I'll tell you what, to everybody watching, like I said before, if you don't have a copy yet, I would definitely go out and get one before they're gone, because I really don't see more getting made anytime soon.
Even if the demand is there, they're not.
Even if the demand is there, yeah.
They're like, yeah, this is the copies we made.
Yeah.
We already shut that. We actually closed that that facility.
Limited stock. Like, yes.
And the workers inside were like, "This is the last Blu-ray we're making ever." Like, yes, we're closing this thing down.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie theaters wanted it, and Toby blocked that. Like when it came out on HBO Max, movie theaters were asking them for it, and he said no. Basically,
Clown shit. Absolute clown shit.
Trash.
I just really thought it was enough past everything that like this didn't have to get fucked with the way that it is, and it pisses me the fuck off. It really does. Like,
Here's a
There was
date.
that article from Ann Cernoff, because there was so much hype before, and they were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna get it." And then that article came out, and just like that
the
shit.
day after, the morning after it fucking released,
And
like
that just
really,
fucking ruined
like,
everything.
oh,
They really wanted to drive it home that don't expect any more.
Yeah.
And so they just wanted to squash that as soon as they could.
Right. And then you got the hardcores go, well, see, it didn't do it. You guys just have to deal with it. And it's like, you know what? Eat a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. These
Yeah.
people are just, you got Toby Emmerich just being like, James Gunn Superman, James Gunn Superman, James Gunn Superman. It's like, dude,
Thank God that didn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
Lord, Jesus.
I don't wish any ill will on anybody, but man, karma's going to come slap that dude in the face. And I hope it happens sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You can't just be that bad of a person without it happening eventually. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That stump is going to grow some roots, and then those roots are going to hurt, and I hope they hurt bad.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you guys want to go around the horn and tell everybody where to find you before we wrap up?
First of all, Il, thank you so much for the invite. We've been trying to do this for a little
Thanks
while
coming
now.
on,
Absolutely. I know I was a little late because I just got done recording another episode, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Got to do this again sometime. I don't know why your camera's off, Ryan. Shit. You're always so happy-go-lucky.
That's fine.
Oh, he's probably in his
Well, I
underwear. Like,
figured-
I don't want to see anyone.
I
No,
thought
I'm not going to be seen on the
whatchamacallit?
same show as Truth. So either his camera's on or mine's on, but not.
Okay.
Yeah. That's our unspoken agreement.
Caleb was supposed to come on too, but I guess he fell asleep or something. I don't know. He was all pumped about. coming
Oh,
on.
you know, he's got that early bedtime like Dawson. He's got to get tucked in.
Oh man.
I took myself
Okay.
in.
But go ahead,
Right,
Drew.
who's
You
going
wanna go first? Yeah, you go first, Drew. Then we'll go around.
You can find me on Twitter at Truth31B. You can find me Instagram at Truth31. You can find me here at the Truth31. And again, once again, thank you, Il Life, for sending me the link. It's been a great time, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go. And thanks for watching, guys. You can catch me on Zebrafet. My beautiful brothers, DC brothers and sisters.
There you go. With the copy.
You know, your support is greatly. It's great.
It's great.
That's fucking late. I'm tired.
Ryan is super tired. Subscribe to Zebrafest.
Yeah,
subscribe to the Truth.
subscribe to my channel. Or
Subscribe to all these gentlemen's channels. They're all wonderful, wonderful people. Again, Il,
I will be
thank you.
joining my Blue Beetle on Tuesday, so make sure you go check that out and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
And
color
Phil's
it.
podcast too. Phil's
There you go.
If y'all want to
go.
listen to my podcast, just search for Superhero Stress, The Eternal Night, Magic of Movies. You can find them on any podcast catcher. More than
That
likely
is
not,
a
you'll find them on
long title.
Podbean. Thank you.
Oh, then. Well, thank all you guys for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate it. Great conversation and good time. And everybody knows you can find me at Ill Life on here, on SNYDER AV every Sunday night, where we are now, and on Twitter, Vero, Instagram, all that stuff, all that good stuff. You know. So thanks all you guys for coming out. Thanks everybody in the chat. Integrity, Anthony, Vega, all you guys, baby girl. And we'll see you guys next week. So, get out of here. As soon as I get my shit set up on. Yeah, I know. Like, wait.
Jump on it.
All right.
Get the good
Peace out,
difficulties.
everybody. Later.
Later.
Inspired us man so much. Girl, in the weekend, last Saturday we had the hashtag up. Release the Snyder Cut, and we would not give up till we got to see the vision Warner Brothers promised us. And then we trended up, despite all the naysay, and made them notice that we were never gonna go away. Kept fighting every day, and I guess that was the key. Cause now we're really gonna see Zack Snyder's Justice League. Release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. It was the Justice League, and you douchebags fucked it up. Release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. Why did you chop it up and make it fucking suck? Never